I'm excited to announce that
Good morning, everyone. Good morning.
The Bio Station, and will be formally known as.
If you're new here, make sure you subscribe.
My existing patients, please be assured that you will continue to receive the same quality and personalized care that you are accustomed to. The only change.
This is our top of the hour break.
New location and an incredible array of anti-aging, health, and wellness modalities.
Okay, make sure you subscribe. Click that notification bell. Just checking the audio.
320-8893. That's 561-320-8893.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune for
Here we go.
your tires. Go easy on your budget and buy your tires at Friendly Tire in Margate, where they have all the major brands like Goodyear and Firestone at discount prices that absolutely can't be beaten. Steve Kane's tires for his Toyota van at the other shops, $175 a tire. At Friendly Tire, just $75 a tire. That's a $100 savings per tire. Tires for my daughter Emily's car, $135 at the shops around town. The price at Friendly Tire, only $65. That's a $70 savings per tire. These prices are out the door and on the road. Free mounting and balancing and no added charges. Friendly Tire have a great selection of good used tires too, starting at just $30 for most cars. Call my good buddy Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire. Tell him what you drive and he will give you a great low price right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net.
All right, here we go.
Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid fraud.
Oh, man, I got good stuff today. I tell you. Mondays can be such a slow news day, but not this Monday.
1-855-FLA-3782.
You are listening to South Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll-free, dial 1-888-GO-KANE 1. That's 1-888-GO-KANE.
All right. Yes. Good morning, everyone. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. It is Monday, February 22nd, 2021. So much going on, so much to talk about. And, we are live. Those of you that are new to the program, we are live on the radio in the morning from 6 until 9 a.m. Eastern. And we broadcast live on AM 1470, 95.3 FM, and 96.9 FM. You can also listen to us on the iHeart Radio app and the TuneIn app. Search for our station call letters WWNN, 2 W's, 2 N's. And we're also on the air 7 nights a week on all those locations I just gave you. Midnight until 6 a.m., 7 nights a week as well, with our overnight rebroadcast. And, of course, watch me live stream on the YouTube, Brian Craig on YouTube, where we have a very, very active, vocal, and opinionated chat room. Brian Craig on the YouTube. All right, well, lots going on, and Mondays is for talk radio. Monday is like the worst day. People are hungover because the first day of the week. News kind of slow because the big news stuff, they take off on the weekends, and we're just overloaded with material today. We really are, and we're only here till 9, and there's just so much craziness going on. But we'll try to get through as much of it as we can. And, this old interview from 2007 has just come out with then Senator Joe Biden from the David Letterman show. Have you guys seen this? Joe Biden, back in 2007, told David Letterman, this is absolutely astounding, he told David Letterman that he was arrested for breaching the Capitol building when he was 21 years old. Now, he went to Congress when he was 29. You have to be 30 to be in the Senate, so I guess he was 29 when he got elected, 30 when he took the oath. But when he was 21 years old, Joe Biden told David Letterman that he breached the Capitol. And I know a lot of people think, that's fake news. No. Unless Joe Biden's lying, of course. But let me pull this up here. This is amazing. This is amazing. This is Joe Biden, 2007, talking to David Letterman.
So what was that like, walking into the great Senate chamber at 29 years old?
You know, I walked in when I was 21, and I got arrested. It was a Saturday. I was down visiting some friends at Georgetown University, and I came up on a Saturday morning because I was fascinated with the Senate. And they had a Saturday session. I walked up those days, no guards stopping everywhere, and they just got out of session. I walked in the back. All of a sudden, I found myself in the chamber, and I was stunned. I walked up, sat down, the presiding officer's seat. Guy grabbed me by the shoulder, said, "You're under arrest."
Wow. So, so he did what the Viking did, the shaman did, right? With all that headgear. Went into the Senate, sat down right up there where he was at, and got busted. I mean, this is absolutely amazing. This is absolutely amazing. So I know maybe statute of limitations is up. I don't know what year it was when he was 21, but this is absolutely amazing. So are we going to prosecute people for doing what Joe Biden himself said that he did? And not only that, he was praised for doing it. He was praised for doing it. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I love this one. This is great. Oh, wait, it's supposed to play. Hold on. There we go.
So what was that like, walking into the great Senate chamber at 29 years old?
You know, I walked in when I was 21, and I got arrested. It was a Saturday. I was down visiting some friends at Georgetown University, and I came up on a Saturday morning because I was fascinated with the Senate. And they had a Saturday session. I walked up those days, no guards stopping everywhere, and they just got out of session. I walked in the back. All of a sudden, I found myself in the chamber, and I was stunned. I walked up, sat down, the presiding officer's seat. Guy grabbed me by the shoulder, said, "You're under arrest."
Wow. So here's a question. Now, they put President Trump on trial after he left office, accusing him of inciting the breach on the Capitol. He was totally acquitted, totally exonerated, totally cleared in the Senate trial because he was found not guilty. But here we have this 2007 Joe Biden interview. He was a senator then. He wasn't vice president yet. On David Letterman confessing that he himself breached the Capitol. So here's my question to you, and our number is toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE-1, 888-465-2631. Is this grounds for impeachment? Is this grounds for impeachment of Joe Biden? Is it possible that someone saw this interview on YouTube or the Twitter or something and thought, wow, Joe Biden just went on in. I'm going to do that too. Could Joe Biden, by bragging on David Letterman, could he have inspired the breach on the Capitol? I really think we need to have an investigation into this. And I'll tell you what, this clip right here is going to start circulating today. It's going to start circulating. That means that the White House press corps, if they don't already, will know about it. Because most of the White House press corps, they're not up yet. They're still in bed. But they'll get up, and they'll see it because it's going to be around. Do you think Ducey will ask Jen Psaki about that today? Oh my goodness. Yeah, trespassing in the Senate, and he went and sat down. So I thought the first time that happened was on January 6th. Apparently, to my knowledge, based on this, the first time that the Senate chamber was actually breached was when Joe Biden did it when he was 21 years old. I really think we need to have an investigation. We need to find out, is this an impeachable offense? If you can impeach presidents who are no longer president, certainly you can impeach presidents for crimes they've committed prior to being president. This is an interesting thing. I think it's a great question for Ducey to ask Jen Psaki today. Oh, yeah, that's a good one. Oh, my goodness. Shocker there. I know. I mean, when I saw that clip, I saw it online. By the way, Fox News Channel gave us that clip. I found that clip from the Fox News Channel website. As problematic as Fox News is, And I must tell you, Friday, for the first time in a long time, I turned on One American News. I don't have One American News on my cable any longer. I have the app on the television in my bedroom. I don't even have it on my living room TV, but I watch TV in bed more than I watch it in the living room. Anyway, when Newsmax, after the election, when Newsmax became the place to go, I pretty much have abandoned everything and have been on Newsmax ever since. And I turned on One American News on Friday, and, America is all about, competition. Competition is what makes things better. That's how the capitalist system works. One American News have elevated their presentation many times compared to what they were just 2 months ago. And it's because of Newsmax. Newsmax, people have been fleeing Fox News. They're looking for places to go. And One American News has completely upped their game. I mean, it was amazing. And it was, I'm like hooked on One American News now. I mean, let's be honest. I was a supporter of One American News for a long, long time. But One American News was kind of boring, wasn't it? It was kind of, come on. It was kind of boring. I think we all can admit that. But it's no longer boring, and they are covering all the stories that the mainstream media are not covering, and it's one after the other, boom, 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 and I couldn't stop watching One American News over the weekend. It's absolutely amazing. And it's because of Newsmax. If Newsmax hadn't exploded in popularity after the election, One American News would probably be doing what they were doing before, boring us to death. But they have really upped their game. And watching One American News does not mean abandon Newsmax TV. I love Newsmax TV. Greg Kelly is my favorite on Newsmax, but I like Newsmax TV a lot. But it's different. They kind of complement one another. They should form some kind of partnership if they can, because Newsmax and One American News, they're both, they lean to the right, let's be fair now. But they do totally different things, right? One American News is the news. They have reporters sitting at a desk reading the news stories, and they do some investigative stuff, the bald guy, Jack Posobiec, and it's very, very good. But it's regular, hard, old-fashioned news, and it's very good, and they have really upped their game. When I tell you they've upped their game, I'm not kidding. I wouldn't be telling you this if they hadn't. But Newsmax is kind of like what I'm doing. It's kind of like talking. They talk about the news. They don't report the news, so they complement one another. If there's any way for them to form a partnership, that would be spectacular. That'd be spectacular. Newsmax, One American News, because they're not competition for one another. And you know what? They might think they are competition for one another. Now, I just got a text here from PJ Gladnick over at Newsbusters. You guys know PJ. He calls in sometimes. He says Biden's Senate arrest might have been as real as his South Africa arrest. Oh, I missed that one. Had Biden once claimed to be arrested in South Africa? Well, here's the thing about this thing with Biden in the Senate. We all know that Biden is a compulsive liar. He's completely pathological, meaning that when he lies, I don't even think he knows that he's lying. And this story about him in the Senate, like, everything else with Joe Biden's probably a complete lie, complete fabrication. But we got to take him at his word. And if I were a Washington reporter, let's see, I'd go back to the year. We could figure it out. He said he was 21. When was Biden born? 18 what? Let me look it up. I'm not sure. What year was Biden born? He was born in 1942. He said he got arrested for breaching the Senate chamber when he was 21, so that'd be 1953. Or I'm sorry, 63. 1963. So you go back to 1963's Capitol Police records. You comb through all the arrests that the Capitol Police made in 1963. And you know what? I bet you they didn't make a lot of arrests. That was before the Vietnam War protest era and all of that stuff. I bet you they made so few arrests back in 63. And just for the fun of it, I would do 61, 62, 63, 64, and go through 65 too, just to be sure, that he wasn't off by a year, and find out where this where this Joe Biden arrest report is. He said he was arrested by the Capitol Police. That means they had to file a report. That's right. Now you know he's lying, but let's call him out on it. Let's follow up. Because if this is true, if he's telling the truth, which he may be, the report would be there. And this very well may be an impeachable offense. It certainly would be an interesting story. If you could find the arrest report of Joe Biden from his Capitol breach back in 1963, when he was 21 years old, okay, that'd be an interesting and big story. Wouldn't it at least be a human interest story? Oh my goodness, they should definitely look that up. All right, listen, we're going to take our first break of the week. My name is Brian Craig. This is Florida's longest running radio show, the Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. It's 18 minutes after the hour. You know, I got a call on Friday from Mike Lindell's office at MyPillow, and they had ended a special that they have added again for all of you. You know, Mike Lindell, Mike Lindell and MyPillow really need your support. And the best way that you can support them and support this program at the same time, of course, is to buy MyPillow products. And they had a long-running special that they discontinued, and they called me on Friday. They added it back to their list of specials at MyPillow.com because so many people out there have been supporting MyPillow. You know, Mike Lindell, he's under attack for supporting President Trump, and they're not going to leave this guy alone, ever. Their goal is to put him out of business, and we're not going to let that happen. Listen to this. This is an incredible deal. If you go to MyPillow.com, use the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, you can get the premium MyPillow. It says here just $29.98, but when you go to MyPillow.com, a pop-up screen comes up to save another $10 off anything you purchase at MyPillow.com. So right now, when you use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, you can get a premium MyPillow, you know, the one for your bed, for just $19.98. But you've got to use the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. That is an incredible deal. Take advantage of it. We'll take our first break of the week. We'll be back. I'm Brian Craig. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1, 888-465-2631.
If you suffer with diabetes, did you know there's a 25% chance that you will develop a foot ulcer at some point in your life? And foot ulcers, when you have diabetes, can lead to severe health consequences up to and including
Oh, great, Janet. Thanks.
amputation. Now, Medicare recognizes the importance of preventative foot care and has provided coverage for those of you who are at-risk patients. I want to introduce you to my good friends at the Soul Authority. At the Soul Authority, at little or no cost, you can receive your very own
Joe Biden. Should Joe Biden be impeached?
Especially for diabetics.
What do you guys think?
Probably not aware, but as a diabetic Medicare recipient, you are entitled to one pair of high-quality diabetic shoes with 3 custom inserts per year. These are not the ugly Frankenstein shoes. These are name brand shoes. They're stylish. They'll provide you with the extra width and extra depth to stop diabetic foot problems before they begin.
Thank you, Jose. Thank you.
Amputation due to diabetes is preventable, and one of the preventable measures is most effective is wearing the proper shoes. Call the Soul Authority at 954-597-7060.
Steve Kane Show.
Or online at thesoulauthority.com. That's THESOLE authority.com. Tell them Steve Kane said.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWE.
Oh, man. Hope you guys had a great weekend. 21 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian Craig. Oh, did you see, President Trump's going to be speaking Sunday at CPAC here in Florida, up at Orlando. And this is exciting because this is the first time he's left Mar-a-Lago and traveled. And he'll be taking, for the first time in a long time, Trump Force One, his own private plane and his own private helicopter. That'll be exciting. But, yeah, I know. Won't that be exciting? But did you see Pence isn't going to speak? He's not going to speak at CPAC? Yeah, because they'll boo him off the damn stage. All right, our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1, 888-465-2631. If you're just tuning in, we very well may have found an impeachable offense for Joe Biden. In 2007, he told David Letterman that he breached the Senate chamber.
Like walking into the great Senate chamber at 29 years old.
You know, I walked in when I was 21, and I got arrested. It was a Saturday. I was down visiting some friends at Georgetown University, and I came up on a Saturday morning because I was fascinated with the Senate. And they had a Saturday session. I walked up those days, no guards stopping you everywhere, and they just got out of session. I walked in the back. All of a sudden, I found myself in the chamber, and I was stunned. I walked up, sat down, the presiding officer's seat. Guy grabbed me by the shoulder, said, "You're under arrest."
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Maybe the shaman can run for the Senate in a couple years if he did the same thing that Biden did. Oh, we got to get to the bottom of this. Now, we got Richie the bus driver. I got actually something for Richie, but I'm going to wait till Richie's done with what he called in about. What's up, Richie?
No, how you doing? No, I called in about this topic, okay?
Oh.
I think this is a major stretch. First of all, he walked in. He didn't break windows and go in with baseball bats. He didn't assault police officers.
No, but he trespassed. He trespassed into the Senate chamber, and he got arrested. He said they arrested him.
Yeah, I know, but don't you realize that he's a Democrat and this is lunch bucket Joe, and there's nothing that they're going to do with Joe Biden?
Well, I don't know. I think Steve Doocy, the White House correspondent for Fox News, should get back over there. Look for this police report from 1963 and from the Capitol Police. Don't you think it'd be interesting to read the arrest report of Joe Biden?
Not really, because he's on videotape extorting money from a foreign country.
Oh, yeah, I understand that. Well, you know, see, the thing is, though, that when they go to the Capitol, they're not going to find this police report. So maybe he well, you say lie, but maybe Joe Biden pulled some strings and had the report disappear. I think we should get to the bottom of this Capitol breacher president we have. Now, I got a call over the weekend that referenced you. The guy was pretty pissed off at me. Well, you had called me a couple days ago about Dan Bongino.
He said that he had lesions on his lung.
Yeah, and my wife told me that that's pretty serious because he had the cancer thing on the neck, and that shows that he's got. I didn't know that. My wife says that means that he very well could have cancer everywhere. That's a big deal, you know. Which I didn't realize that when you called, but it was a day or two after the passing of Rush Limbaugh, and I'd made a comment to you. Is Bongino trying to get Rush sympathy? Well, one of our weekend listeners was pretty pissed off, and he left me a phone message on my voicemail here at the radio station about it. Here it is.
Yeah, hey Brian, my name is Terrence. I live in Coconut Creek. I've been listening to you for years. I have to tell you, I was very much taken aback when Richie, the bus driver, called the other day and related a very sad story about how he had heard on Sean Hannity's radio show that Dan Bongino discovered, after thinking that he was healthy again after going through chemotherapy, that he ended up having a mass on his lung, and your immediate knee-jerk reaction was, oh, what is he trying to get, Rush sympathy? Are you freaking kidding me, man? I mean, really, can you imagine being healthy, thinking that you're okay, and then all of a sudden waking up and finding out from the doctor after you've gone through a long stint of chemo, and then you find out that you're now possibly going to die anywhere from 3 months, 6 months, 9 months to a year, and again, your knee-jerk reaction was, oh, is he just trying to get Rush sympathy? Dude, you are cold, you're callous, you're narcissistic, you're conceited. The world, in your opinion, revolves around you, and that was such a disgusting, despicable thing to say on the radio without even giving it a second thought. Dude, you think the world revolves around you. You keep saying that you're not self-promoting.
Okay, so and he talked so long that he ran out of time on the voicemail, so he got cut off there. He didn't call back and finish the message, but oh boy, he was pretty pissed. Pretty pissed.
Yeah, I remember that's what you did say, but
I didn't realize that was such. My wife told me that that's a pretty serious thing what Bongino talked about. I had no idea.
Yeah, I didn't hear on his radio show. He was on his TV show, and he said at the end of his commentary. Sean brought it up, and he said that he has lesions and cysts. They could be cysts. He says so. They got to do. They found out when they did the MRI. But we all have to pray for him.
Oh, absolutely. I definitely pray for Dan Bongino. I did not realize how serious of a thing that was.
Yeah. Bring up one more quick thing. I got what's his name? The guy from Florida. The congressman that's so pro-Trump with the...
Matt Gaetz.
Matt Gaetz was on last night, and he attacked another Republican, a female who came on after. And she came out there and she said, well, I do the Reagan rule. I don't know why Matt Gaetz attacked another Republican, but I'm not going to fall for his bait. So he came back on. You realize, and this is a problem the Republicans have. Gaetz came back on and said, listen, she was the one that promoted Liz Cheney and insisted that Liz Cheney should stay. And he says that 2/3 of the Republicans voted to keep Liz Cheney over Matt Gaetz's. The deal is this: there's 66 votes that were for Trump, and the rest of the party was for Liz Cheney.
That's right.
Says it's not acceptable. It shows you that only one third of the Republicans in the Congress are for Trump, and 2/3 are against.
Yeah, and you know what there's going to be a real reckoning come Sunday, because what President Trump's, he's speaking Sunday at CPAC. He's going to finish up the CPAC for the weekend. I'm glad he's going at the end, because then everybody on next Monday will be talking about what Trump said. He's going to be talking about the future of the Republican Party, and that's going to be the launch of his rhino replacement campaign that he's doing, I think.
Yeah, Matt Gaetz said he's going to run for president. Matt Gaetz.
Absolutely. Absolutely. He said Trump's going to run for president. Absolutely. He's going to. Well, this thing with Liz Cheney, what they do, people that are in the House are under tremendous amounts of pressure constantly because they're all up for re-election every 2 years. So what they do is they go to them and threaten to cut off their campaign funding. And they're already running again, and they get scared, and they voted to maintain Liz Cheney, who's a real lowlife. She's a real lowlife.
You realize that Biden's already sent more troops back into Syria?
Yeah.
These are American lives, man. I was in the Army. You're sticking your nose, and he's keeping these soldiers in Germany for what? And this guy, you talk about for walking into the Senate chamber. I'm talking about this guy is a country wrecker in 1 month. And if that lady, by the way, Wie calls up and tells you how she hated Trump and ask her. Let me ask you a question. How do you like what this guy's doing to the United States of America in 1 month?
Well, when Wie called, I hope to hear from Wie today, because Wie called Friday. She was in the emergency room at the hospital, and she said it was COVID related. She has had COVID in the past, and the call was cut short because the doctor came into the room. So I'm hoping to hear from Wie and hope that she's doing well, and I hope Bongino does well. I didn't realize what a serious thing that was with Bongino, and yeah.
My last thing is, my friend brought this up. He got a news thing over the internet yesterday that there's a young black kid that in a mobile home park in Texas that died during that cold.
Yeah, that's right.
The family is suing because they say they didn't give the electricity to the poorer neighborhoods, which means now this is the whole thing is totally out of control, man. I mean, this country, I don't understand what's happening.
Well, I don't know why. Why do you have to tell us that he was black, the 11-year-old?
That was because that was the original thing. Because they feel that because he was black.
Well, it was really a tragedy, that story. This 11-year-old kid, he froze to death. He froze to death. And that's got to be a terrible way to go. And he was in a mobile home, a trailer, and those just don't have insulation in them. They have no insulation in them, and they, and when it gets cold, I mean, you're basically surrounded by tin. I don't know what options the family had, but, when we have hurricanes, I've got a relative that lives in a mobile home, and when we have hurricanes, they come and stay with us, and they're welcome to stay with us with their pets and everything else, because I have a house, I have hurricane shutters and everything. We don't leave our family in a trailer when a hurricane's coming. So, you know, people that live in mobile homes, when there's severe weather events, you get out of the mobile home because they lose power, they're not safe, they get blown over, you know. So so I would have gotten the hell out of the mobile home if I were them.
Yeah, but the article was basically the defense that they're going to have. The lawyer's going to say because it's a poor black area that's why they didn't give them the electric. That's their defense, and that's what they're going after.
Well, typically, now again, we don't really know the electricity that was lost in Texas. A lot of it was because of the windmills freezing and stuff like that. I get that. But in Florida, when we lose electricity during hurricanes, it's because power lines get knocked down. Because with the winds, trees fall on the power line. And, you know, for the past several years, Rick Scott started doing this. They've been cutting the trees down from around the power lines, finally. But in the last hurricanes, we didn't have that problem. And I imagine in Texas, there's a similar thing. Because with a snowstorm, there is wind. Snow is heavy. And I bet you a lot of the electricity that went out wasn't just frozen windmills, but also power lines getting knocked down. Nobody turned down electricity because a neighborhood was poor or black or Hispanic or anything else. Well, you know, I got to tell you something. I mean, you know, people always got their hands out to sue. I'm starting to get a whiff of that from the Cuomo crisis up in New York, that people are starting to look for the lawsuits. I mean, you know, when somebody loses a family member, and I start hearing about lawyers and lawsuits and all this stuff, it's pretty low life and disgusting, you know. All right, Richie, take care. Appreciate the call. All right, listen, we'll take our break for the bottom of the hour. It's Monday, and we're here live. 1-888-GO-CANE 1-888-465-2631. 34 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. We'll be right back.
Do you ever ask yourself, will I ever be able to retire? And if I do retire, how do I stay retired? Well, the good news is our friends at I Will Advisors right here in Coral Springs can help you answer those questions. I Will Advisors have a
Good morning, everyone. If you're in the chat room, good morning. Good morning.
Focused on your needs and desires for a successful retirement. Debbie Klatzoff and Dan Frazier at I Will Advisors want to talk with you and provide you with an income for life report. This report will help you map out how to control when you can retire and make sure once you retire, you stay retired. Call Debbie Klatzoff and Dan Frazier at I Will Advisors, 954-753-8080, 954-753-8080.
Hey, Michael.
I Will Advisors.
Welcome, everyone.
Financial planning partners.
You know, the video before this, I did a very good video yesterday. You know, on this thing that Richie brought up. You know, they're trying to blame Ted Cruz for this young kid who froze to death in Texas, and I did a very good video up on my YouTube channel about that and comparing it to a real scandal. I mean, which of course is Chappaquiddick, and it's a pretty good video. I put it up late yesterday. Let me put the link in the chat here. You guys should watch this video and spread it around. That link right there. If you could watch that video and spread that around, that'd be awesome. It puts everything in perspective.
Any lab test now of Coral Springs is located at 955 North University Drive on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood near the Coral Square Mall. You can call them at 954-906-5983. 954-906-5983. Any lab test now of Boca is in the Sandalfoot Plaza where the Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road and north of Hillsboro. Call them at 561-237-5009. 561-237-5009. Make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group.
The Steve Kane Show.
Offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to
Hold on.
Gables. Call toll free 1-855-FLA-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for W.
All right, welcome back. 37 minutes after the hour. You know, I made a YouTube video yesterday afternoon. It's up on my YouTube channel. And it was not a live stream. It's a video that I made about the 11-year-old boy who tragically froze to death out in Texas and how they're trying to blame Ted Cruz for it. It's on my YouTube channel. And you should check it out. It's a very good video I did. Well, before I bring anything up new, let me take a call or two. It's Monday morning. You're on the radio. Good morning. What's your name?
Yes, good morning, Janet. I'm calling from New York.
Oh, hey, Janet.
What do you mean by low life people doing if their loved one has lost their life? Especially in a situation where suing is warranted.
Okay, now just because you have an accent a little bit, I'm just going to repeat a little bit of what you said for people because you're on the phone and everything. And this is Janet from New York, and she was saying, why do I call people lowlife that are talking about suing who lost a loved one in New York? I'll answer that question for you. You've got a governor in New York, Andrew Cuomo. If what they're saying about him is true, Governor Cuomo is responsible for the death of more New Yorkers than Osama bin Laden on 9/11. Okay? And, okay, so there's two problems that I have with people going after money right now. One, I don't know how someone could take money and do anything with it other than give it away that was given to them as the result of a tragedy like grandma or grandpa being killed in a nursing home. But the other thing is there's a crime that's taken place here. That if what Governor Cuomo is being accused of is true, a mass murder took place in New York of senior citizens, and a cover-up to cover up the crime. And as opposed to talking about class action lawsuits and getting paid, like a lot of people try to do after 9/11, we need to have a criminal charges brought against people like Governor Cuomo. And that's where the focus should be, not getting paid.
Yeah, I agree with you, but I don't think some of these lawsuits don't get anywhere because he's signed into law that no one can sue. The hospital is being protected.
Oh, you know, Cuomo signed a law? Yeah, Cuomo signed a law that they can't sue him. I don't know if that would hold up in the Supreme Court.
Don, when this so-called pandemic started, and people were, dropping out left, right, and center like flies, and he signed into law that no one can be sued.
We're in a little different situation. What happened? The situation in New York is unique, very unique.
A lot of airtime over cruise.
Well, I'll tell you, Cuomo should be in jail. He was involved in a cover-up. There was He keeps blaming the CDC guidelines. First off, the CDC issues guidelines, not orders and mandates. But the second thing is, every governor got those same guidelines. And here in Florida, we have the oldest population in America in Florida. And our governor, Ron DeSantis, didn't have happen here in Florida what happened with Cuomo. The death of the seniors in the nursing homes in New York is a direct result of Cuomo. Okay.
Listen to this. He also threatened nursing homes if they did not yield to what he said, except for one Jewish nursing home in New Jersey. The owner said he would rather pay the price, but he's not letting any age-related people.
Yeah. Well, the problem is, we got a lot of problems here in Florida with New Yorkers because, New Yorkers, they move to Florida and they bring their Democrat politics with them. And the sad, sick... well, let me finish. The sick, sad reality of New York Democrats is even with Cuomo doing what he did, they'll still vote and support the guy.
Exactly, and I'm saying to myself, no demonstration, no nothing out of this. These people up here, their mind is so warped. I don't know what is wrong, and I'm saying to myself, he had more than room where to put these people. Remember the ship?
Yeah, the hospital ship, yeah.
Those places were empty.
Well, the problem in New York, whenever we get out of COVID, which, the Democrats never want this to end, especially Fauci doesn't want this to end because, but when this ends, when this ends, what we're going to find is everything that was done in New York was wrong and got people killed, like the lockdowns, in Florida, in New York, in the city. They locked people down in the city, right? So, there are buildings in New York that more people live in than entire cities elsewhere in the country. There's that many people. So they locked tens of thousands of people up in buildings together where they have shared spaces like elevators, for example, and they were passing it all around. Everything they did, everything de Blasio and Cuomo did, resulted in super spreader events in New York. But what Cuomo did was criminal in that he knew what he did, and then he conspired with his staff to lie to federal investigators. And as opposed to,
And you know what? They think they were trying everything that these people do. They thought they were hurting Trump, but they're hurting their own people.
That's right.
We're just trying to make Trump look bad. And it boils down that they're hurting their own people.
I mean, look at de Blasio. De Blasio goes and sprays graffiti in front of Trump Tower on the road, and then now he wants to he was going to shut down the skating rinks and deprive children of skating because Trump runs some skating rinks. That's all they don't care who they hurt, who gets sick, as long as it hurts Trump.
They claim that they're not going to renew the contract. But no matter what they do, Brian, I look at this man from a biblical prospect. No matter what Trump do, they're going to fight and they end up not winning. We all have to come together. It's not a Democratic nor a Republican thing, and fight in order to save this country. At the beginning of your show, you mentioned I have an accent, so you have to explain what I was saying. Yes, I have an accent. I'm a Jamaican, but I sure I'm speaking so everybody can understand. Why do you think immigrants are so much into Trump and his policies? Look at what this man in the White House is planning to do. Open up back the borders and just letting people in left, right, and center. So that means the people who are waiting in line to come here legally. That's a pushback and a big setback for those people. So I don't understand why Americans, at least some, hate Trump for loving his country.
Well, because the Democrats have Trump derangement syndrome. They can't get over Donald Trump, and he's reopening the border just to stick it to Trump. Because Trump was against it. Because Trump wanted the border secure. He wants to unsecure it. During a time when they're telling us that it's still dangerous to have international travel. I can't go to Canada. Canadians can't come here. But if you come up through Mexico and you're illegal, you can just walk on in.
Yeah, but it's not only Mexicans coming across. The other day when they arrested around 13 Middle Easterners.
Yeah. Well, they get a lot of Middle Easterners coming in from the southern border because if they, put on Wrangler jeans and a cowboy shirt and a baseball cap or a cowboy hat, they can pass as Mexican.
Exactly. So, I don't understand. And I said to myself, what country you don't want your prime minister or your president to say, I'm going to take care of my people first? I'm saying to myself, are people that brainwashed? And it doesn't matter what.
Well, because Biden, if you look at the people that Biden has placed around him, okay, you find he has surrounded his staff. Biden has surrounded himself with a staff of radical, militant minorities that hate this country, hate white people. Everything about them is white supremacy. And if you put America first is white supremacy to them, America last is what they call anti-racist.
Let me say something before I go, Brian, and I want you to elaborate on it because I cannot understand it. We can talk from now until hell freezes over. If they don't get rid of those Dominion machines.
Well, unfortunately, I know. Unfortunately, it's one of those things. I wish I could, but we can't. All right, listen. It's 47 minutes in just a second after the hour. My name is Brian Craig. This is Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. On the radio since 1977, we're going to take our last break of the first hour, and we'll be right back after this. Don't go anywhere.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune for your tires. Go easy on your budget and buy your tires at Friendly Tire
No, she's
and
real.
Margate, where they have all the major brands like Goodyear and Firestone at discount prices that absolutely can't be beaten. Steve Kane's tires for his Toyota van at the other shops, $175 a tire. At Friendly Tire, just $75 a tire. That's a $100 savings per tire. Tires for my daughter Emily's car, $135 at the shops around town. The price at Friendly Tire, only $65. That's a $70 savings per tire. These prices are out the door and on the road. Free mounting and balancing and no added charges. Friendly Tire have a great selection of good used tires too, starting at just $30 for most cars. Call my good buddy Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire. Tell him what you drive and he will give you a great low price right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net.
This is Dr. Mitchell Matez. I'm excited to announce that my practice has morphed into the BioStation. To all of my existing patients, please be assured that you will continue to receive the same quality and personalized care that you are accustomed to. We will be located at Atlantic Avenue and Lyons Road in the Joseph's Market Shopping Center, directly across from the Delray Marketplace. Call me at my new office number, 561-320-8893. That's 561-320-8893.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, inventor of MyPillow, here to tell you about my Giza Dream bed sheets. I made sure that they would be everything you'd ever want in a sheet set. I started with the world's finest cotton called Giza. It's only grown in a region where the Sahara Desert, the Nile River, and the Mediterranean Sea all meet. The long staple cotton makes my Giza Dream sheets ultra soft and durable. They come with extra wide pillowcases to fit over any pillow and extra deep pockets
Yeah, I'm
to
getting
fit
in.
over any mat.
I'm going to get into the Coke thing in just a bit. Probably at the top of the hour.
10-year warranty. And now you can get the best sheets ever for the best price ever. When you buy one of my Giza Dream bed sheet sets, you'll get another one absolutely free. I personally guarantee that they'll be the most comfortable sheets you'll ever own.
Use the promo code Kane at checkout, and when you buy a set of Giza Dream Sheets, get a second set free. But you've got to use the promo code Kane, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com, or call 1-800-716-4879.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWNN.
All right, welcome back. And again, remember, they brought back, MyPillow called me on Friday, they brought back the incredible special on the premium MyPillow. Just, let me get the price right, just $29.98, but with that extra $10 off that pops up, you can get the premium MyPillow for just $19.98. It's a great way to support Mike Lindell, who's really being persecuted for his support of Trump. But you got to use the promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E. All right, now I am not a sexist at all. I'm a father of a daughter. Okay, so women can do any. I'm not one of these old guys that are like, women. I'm not that way. But I have been hearing more and more examples of women running into problems in the military. Rape, sexual harassment, rape and murder. You've heard these things. And a female Marine put a video out on TikTok that Biden's Secretary of Defense is going to investigate and find out what happened here. And let me play you the audio. I added these bleeps. Every bleep is an F word, okay, in this. And apparently what had happened, we don't have many details. That's why the Defense Secretary is going to investigate this. But there was some type of incident that she had with a male Marine, and she reported it. And she faced her accuser. There was some type of hearing of sorts. And he's receiving an honorable discharge from the Marine Corps. And she's upset about this. And she took to TikTok. Let me play this. Female Marine on TikTok. By the way, this is real. She is a Marine. And what she's talking about is being investigated right now. Listen.
This morning I posted a TikTok about how unfair it is that I've dedicated my life to the military and the Marine Corps and everything that I've done, and that I was able to see my perpetrator in court, and how much it sucked that he was being forced out of the military, that he would be getting an honorable discharge. Well, not even 10 minutes ago I just got word that this will be getting retained because they went all the way up across the board. Everybody said that they would not retain him. And the head honcho, the CG, with all of the proof and admission to guilt, decided that they will retain him. And this is exactly why males in the military kill themselves. This is exactly why nobody takes us seriously. Yo, what the
Okay, and she's obviously having a breakdown. So again, we don't have any details on what happened. Was she sexually harassed? Was she raped? We don't know. I imagine we're going to find out because this TikTok video of hers is going viral right now, and the Secretary of Defense is looking into it. And I'm going to follow up when more details come out. I want to find out what happened. But here's the thing. Okay, here's the thing. You know, she's a Marine. And I understand that it's 2021 and we have a completely integrated society, and I don't mean just ethnicities. I'm talking about sex as well. But there are certain places where men and women shouldn't be together, and one of them is the military. You know, the military, especially the Marines. Marines are supposed to be killers, but people in the military are young. And they're supposed to be in, especially the Marine Corps, this isn't the Air Force, they're supposed to be in perfect physical condition, training and everything all the time. And, you know, men at that age, if they're in the service and they're, you know, everybody in the Marines is infantry, right? Pretty much. There's a lot of testosterone going around, and women and men really, truly need to be segregated in the service. You've got young people who already are a problem when it comes to such things, and you put into that the constant physical strength and the, you know, let's be, you know, strong and tough soldiers and Marines and all this stuff. This kind of business is going to happen. And, you know, there's always been a debate about the female role in the service. And I understand women play a very important part in the service and they have a role. But they really, you know, sometimes if you watch an old World War II movie and you see that they have no women on the ships, no women in the, and they have like wax and they're separate, it's a separate thing, and that seems so old-fashioned. But you know what? It probably should be that way. You know, when you have people that are young and they're doing the things that people in the military do all the time, they're going to be over-sexualized, especially when you put them together. And I'm not trying to be funny, cute, or controversial or anything, but there's not a week that goes by that I don't see some story somewhere of a woman who has been murdered, raped, or something like this in the service. Okay? Women and men at that age in the service cannot mingle. It's an experiment that I think has proven to be a very bad idea for a lot of reasons. You know, it used to be a debate about women in combat and everything. Now we got them in combat, and it's not good. And you see what's going on here, and that's a Marine. You know, I've talked to him. I remember my father told me when he was in boot camp, and I think Richie was in the Army. But back in those days, you know, the drill instructors could hit the recruits. They could hit them. Can't do that now. They've really metrosexualized and wimpified the military so much. I mean, you know, the Marines are supposed to be the toughest of all, and she's had a breakdown. And I understand. I mean, we'll get more detail about what happened. It sounds like there was a sexual assault by the level of outrage that she has that very well may have been covered up. But at this point, women and men together in the service, I think, has proven to be a complete failure, and it puts not just the military and the individual units and everything in danger. It's obviously putting women in dangerous positions. I think it's impossible for young men of military age who are training all the time, so full of those hormones, to expect them to serve alongside women. I just don't think they physically can do it. All right, 1-888-GO-CANE-1 is our number. 888-465-2631. You're on the radio. What's your name? Good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Steve. I just seen the story that you're telling right now, and I actually know that Marine.
Oh, really? How do you know her? What a coincidence. I'm shocked. How do you know her?
From in North Carolina.
Okay, so what happened to her?
Story, but like my opinion is, I think that there's way more to it.
Well, obviously, there's way more to it. She's obviously, to me, she sounds like a sex assault victim. Okay, and the guy who assaulted her, if that's what happened to her, should not only receive a dishonorable discharge, he should be in jail if he sexually assaulted her. But what I'm talking, everyone's against that. But what I'm telling you is that men and women cannot serve together in the military. It's nothing but problems.
I agree with that in certain cases, but my opinion, like I think they're equal. Like there's obviously some things they can't do, but my opinion, like working with
women and men are different. I mean, there are differences, and like I'll give you an example. If there was a story just the other day of a female jogger who was run over, and raped by this fat slob. And you'll see these stories sometimes in the news of joggers, female joggers that are abducted and raped, right? Sexually assaulted. And female joggers are women of peak physical condition, and oftentimes, most every story is some fat slob overtook her. So even a man who's out of shape, 2 steps away from a massive heart attack, can take a woman who's young, strong, and in peak physical condition. Women are not nearly as strong as men and should not be doing most everything in the military that men do. That men and women are different, and that's okay.
Yeah, I understand it, and like I think women in the military is great. There's things that they can apply to certain things when we're overseas. There was stuff that were women.
Well, the way it used to be when it first started, women's role in the military was to do things to allow men not to have to do them, so the men could be in the combat units. Because there's a lot that goes into the military, and and there's a lot of things that if women can be back home doing them, it frees up more men for combat operations. Having men and women, I mean, I've seen several stories. I think it's out of Fort Hood of sexual assaults and murders of female soldiers by superiors at Fort Hood. Women and men cannot serve together in the military effectively. And this TikTok girl, I feel terrible for her, but it's an example of it.
I do too, but like my personal opinion and me knowing her.
What's her name? If you know, what's her first name? What's her first name?
I don't want to say that.
You can say her first name. You say you know her. You know her first name. Carol, Betty. What's her first name? So you don't really know her. You're trying to pretend to know. That's okay. If you knew her, you would know her first name. I didn't ask you for her name, rank, full name, rank, and serial number here. I asked you for her first name. You couldn't come up. All right, listen, it's 7 o'clock. We're going to take a break. Oh, my gosh. He knows her, but he can't tell us her first name. Give me a break. All right, it's 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm Brian. This is the Kane Radio Show. I'd like to hear your thoughts on that, though. Our number, toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. We'll be right back.
Covered AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Do you think you've come in contact with someone who has coronavirus? Steve Kane's wife Lori did, and she went to any lab test now of Coral Springs to find out.
Welcome. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe.
I came into contact with somebody who tested positive for COVID, and I was scared, and I needed results right away, so I went to any lab test now in Coral Springs. It was great. I didn't want to have to stay in line for 2 hours and have a swab stuck down my nose into my brain. It was very pleasant. I made an appointment. They got me in within the hour. I was out of there within 20 minutes. Thank goodness the test was negative, and I can go back to work tomorrow. They also tested me for the antibodies, and I haven't been exposed. So do what I did. Go over to Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. They give great rates for Steve Kane listeners. And tell them they sent you.
It's worth 15 minutes of your time to have peace of mind and know that you and your family are safe. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs is located at 955 North University Drive on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood near the Coral Square Mall. You can call them at 954-906-5983. 954-906-5983. Any Lab Test Now of Boca is in the Sandalfoot Plaza where the Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road and north of Hillsboro. Call them at 561-237-5009. 561-237-5009. Make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio.
Hi, this is George Corey of the Soul Authority. In this time of social distancing and sheltering in place, many people have been forced to neglect their feet. We at the Soul Authority are making it
As soon as he said he knew her, I knew he was lying.
Remaining in your home, as we will send a doctor to your house for all of your podiatric needs.
He couldn't even think of a female name.
Medicare pays for this visit.
I don't know what her name is.
If you're a Medicare recipient,
I could find out if I looked at the story again, but he couldn't even make up a name of a girl.
7060. That's 954-597-7060. Don't let social distancing stop you from taking care of your feet. Call the Soul Authority today.
This is Steve Kane for attorney Barry Siegel. Barry did a great job for me and my family when we needed a revocable living trust. Listen to one
Marlon,
of
he was
listeners,
lying.
Ray, talk about his experience with Barry Siegel.
I want to praise Barry Siegel. And one of the most important things about sponsors is integrity. You have to know that you're dealing with an honest person. I had to go up to Myrtle Beach with my sister because her husband died, and I was helping her out. She had a trust and everything. She had not revised this trust since 1997. And you know, Barry says every 3 years at least you gotta. I called Barry's office because I had a question. I let the secretary know. I said, look, I'm calling from South Carolina. I know the laws are different. And I'm just asking for information for my sister. Now, you know, most people just blow you off, right? You know, almost immediately, within a few minutes, Barry himself called me. I asked my questions and so on, and he answered. He was very patient. I'm quite a while with him. And I talked about.
I got so fed up with my Apple Watch. You know, I have an Apple Watch. I've had it for a long time. And it's always going dead on me. It's it does nothing. So I bought this $9.99 Casio on eBay. And this does it. This does everything I need.
Right now, toll free 1-855-FLA-3782. That's 1-855 toll free FLA-3782. Tell them Steve sent you.
You are listening to South Florida's longest running
Oh, that's great.
radio show,
That's great, Dylan.
The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll-free, dial 1-888-COCAINE 1. That's 1-888-COCAINE 1. And now, here's...
All right, hour number 2 has begun. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. It's 5 minutes after the hour, and it's February 22nd, 2021. I still cannot get used to saying 2021. Oh, my goodness. Yes. Welcome back. I'm going to bring up some new things, but I want to do a recap on a couple of the topics that I brought up in the first hour. We uncovered, courtesy of the Fox News Channel, we uncovered a 2007 interview with then United States Senator Joe Biden, where he was talking with David Letterman about how when he was 21 years old, which was 1963, Joe Biden tells David Letterman that he was arrested for breaching the Senate chamber at the United States Capitol. Listen.
What was that like, walking into the great Senate chamber at 29 years old?
You know, I walked in when I was 21. And I got arrested. It was a Saturday. I was down visiting some friends at Georgetown University. And I came up on a Saturday morning because I was fascinated with the Senate. And then a Saturday session, I walked up those days, no guards stopping everywhere. And they just got out of session. I walked in the back. All of a sudden, I found myself in the chamber, and I was stunned. I walked up, sat down, the presiding officer's seat. Guy grabbed me by the shoulder, said, "You're under arrest."
Wow, the Letterman audience thinks it's funny. At least a couple people in the back think it's funny to breach the Capitol back in '63. Oh my goodness. Joe Biden, there must be a Capitol Police report unless he made it up. But can you impeach a president for actually breaching the Senate chamber? Because he's telling us he did it. And he even did what the Viking shaman did, went and sat in the presiding officer's chair. Oh, way high atop. Oh, my goodness. Doesn't get worse than that, people. Joe Biden telling us in 2007 he breached the Capitol. We got to get to the bottom of that. Before I forget, I watched over the weekend on YouTube Rush Limbaugh in 1992 on Phil Donahue's show. And, you know, I watched a couple of videos last week about Rush on YouTube after he passed away. And now my whole YouTube feed recommendations are all Rush Limbaugh. And I'm watching all these old interviews with Rush Limbaugh. But the Phil Donahue 1992 was very interesting. I watched the whole thing. It's like 50 minutes, right? Because it doesn't have commercials. Some commercials are in it, but it's like 50 minutes, an hour long. And, well, my first thought is, what a no-talent Phil Donahue was. You know, I remember when Phil Donahue was a big deal, I used to watch him every day during the summer. When I was out of school for the summer, I always watched Phil Donahue, and I didn't realize what a no-talent Phil Donahue was. And, you know, he had this suck-up audience of women who agreed with him on everything, and he was just a no talent. And but anyway, he had Rush there, and it's very interesting. You guys should look this up. 1992, watch the whole thing. I'll talk about it just a little bit, but go and watch it. And it really shows you how how things have changed in this country. It's 1992, Phil Donahue, Rush Limbaugh is the guest, and he's going through all his positions, pretty much the same positions that he had on his final show, right? About all the issues, right? Pro-life. They were even talking, I was surprised in 92 to be talking about, he said global warming, because I didn't realize global warming. I thought we were still in the global cooling then, because 92, that was the campaign year with the Clintons, you know. So, and I remember the first year or two of Clinton's presidency, there was a big blizzard, and they were talking about global cooling, but they were talking about global warming, and Rush had said, well, everything he said in 1992 has become true, but he had said, you know, global warming's a lie. That's what he told Phil Donahue. This is just a way for the socialists to get control over our lives, and now we're seeing that realized. But Phil Donahue is a liberal. He's still around, Phil Donahue. He just doesn't do a show anymore. And his audience, all liberal for the most part. And Rush Limbaugh would talk about his position on being pro-life or not supporting this lie of global warming or something, and they go boo, 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 but they were still laughing. And you know, there were debates. There was debate at that time between conservatives and liberals, but it was more in good fun. And there's been a change now. And I didn't, because I was around. We were doing talk radio back then. You know, Steve Kane Show's been on since '77, and so '92 still. That's like when I first got the job at the radio station with Steve. It was around 92-ish, you know. But the tone has changed from the left. Back then, you know, there were a handful of people that were always griping, right? You know, a few different organizations like Now and a couple other organizations are always griping about conservatives, but they were a handful of people. There were like 12 of them. And everyone else was kind of like, oh, you know, you right-wing bigot, and they would kind of laugh, ha, 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 ha. But today, they want to destroy anyone who dares disagree with them. I mean, if you're a conservative and you disagree with the left, you need to be canceled. And it wasn't that way back in 92. When I was watching that old Rush Limbaugh Donahue show from 92, there's been a huge change in tone. Why that is, I'm not 100% sure. I don't know exactly what has happened to change it so much. I mean, there's always been these people, okay? But not like they are now. Maybe it's just that they're empowered and they run so much of what is media today, which is all the online stuff, big tech. I don't know. But there's definitely been a major change in the tone of mainstream liberals. And this thing with Coca-Cola is insanity. Okay, have you guys heard what's going on with Coca-Cola? And this is something that's leaked out. They've gotten involved in this anti-racist training. There's a college professor named Ibrahim, I think his name is X or something, and he wrote a book, How to Be an Anti-Racist, and he came up with this anti-racist thing. I actually got his book, not the print version, I got the audio version, because I always saw him on TV, anti-racist. So I got the audio book, and I was driving up to Orlando and back, so I got, like 5 or 6 hours in the car. I listened to it up, I listened to it back. I still don't know what an anti-racist is. I don't understand the book. It seems like every chapter is just a repetition from the first chapter. But what Coca-Cola is doing is insane. Listen to this. This came out courtesy of a whistleblower from Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola uses anti-racist training that tells employees, quote, try to be less white. Try to be less white. Now, how do you how can you be less white? Not listen to the Carpenters? I don't know what that means. It's really frightening because what's going on here is, I was talking to a caller about this the other day. All of the former minority victim groups have become what they think they're against: oppressors, open bigots, sexist, heterophobes. And telling people that are Caucasian to be less white, this shoe on the other foot. What if you told people to be less black, less Latina, less gay, less Jewish? Oh my goodness, it sounds like what it is, right? But if you say less white, yeah, that's right. Let me read this article. This is really scary. And this is this anti-racist thing that's going on these days. Coca-Cola has used a training video by anti-racist activist Robin DiAngelo that tells employees to, quote, try to be less white, unquote, according to unwoke activist Carolyn Borzinko, based on information from what she says is a company whistleblower. She's also a psychologist, YouTuber, and creator of Zen Workplace. She put a video of the training online, and it's pretty crazy stuff. The 49-minute training video that Coca-Cola has put out was put out by this Robin DiAngelo. She's author of a book about it titled Confronting Racism. The course establishes that all white people are born racist. It doesn't get more racist than saying that all white people are born racist. And this is a very dangerous thing because, you're guilty of being a racist from your birth. An innocent little baby in the womb is racist. Little innocent little baby at the crib on the playground, they're racist. Let me tell you, I don't care what the background of a child is, that's the one place where there's no racism, is with little kids. The course establishes that all white people are born racist. Nothing exempts any white person from the forces of racism, says DiAngelo. Now again, this is in the Coca-Cola training video. When you accept the reality of your socialization, you can begin to examine how you've been shaped by it. In the United States and other Western nations, again, this is all in this Coca-Cola anti-racist video. In the United States and other Western nations, white people are socialized to feel that they are inherently superior because they are white. I miss that training course that white people are given, but apparently, I guess I was sick that day. Research shows that by age 3 to 4, children understand that it is better to be white. You get 3 and 4-year-old kids that are totally different, right? White, black, Hispanic, Eskimo. You put them together on a playground with some toys, they're total diversity. There's just no, unless they're raised by one of these anti-racist, anti-white bigots. Coca-Cola employees are told in the What You Can Do section that to be less white, one can do the following. So here's what you can, according to the Coca-Cola anti-racist training, this is what you can do to be less white. 1, be less oppressive. 2, be less arrogant. Oh, white people are arrogant. We're born arrogant. 3, be less certain. This is interesting because, racial humor that comedians have made a lot of money out of has been pretty much banned from our society. But racial humor is typically based on racial stereotypes. And I guess what we have here in this Coca-Cola anti-racist training video on how to be less white is we have all the stereotypes about white people that minorities have. Okay, so 1, you can be less white by doing the following. Are you Caucasians, my fellow Caucasians? Are you listening to this? To be less white, you can, 1, be less oppressive. 2, be less arrogant. 3, be less certain. 4, be less defensive. 5, be less arrogant. White people are arrogant. 6, be more humble. 7, listen. See, white people don't listen. Where am I? I lost track. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, 8. To be less white, 1 can believe. 9, break with white solidarity. D'Angelo's list implies that white people are, by their very skin color, oppressive, defensive, arrogant, and so forth. The training includes a racial resentment section. Any moment of black advancement is met with a backlash of white rage and resentment, D'Angelo claims. Again, this is a training video that Coca-Cola is requiring employees to take part in. I think we're in a current moment of that. After 8 years of Obama, D'Angelo goes on to say that white people resent affirmative action, which she describes as a toothless program that we've practically dismantled, and says when white people say they aren't racist, she doesn't buy it. When she hears white people say, I was taught to treat everyone the same, she said she thinks to herself, this person doesn't understand basic socialization. This person doesn't understand culture. This person, white person, is not self-aware. Being nice to black people is not enough, according to D'Angelo and the Coca-Cola training. Niceness is not courageous. Niceness is not anti-racism. That's right. If you're merely just nice, you're advancing a racist system that increases racial disparities. The Coca-Cola course description for the training reads this. In this course, Robin DiAngelo, the best-selling author, gives you the vocabulary and practices you need to start confronting racism and unconscious bias. See, those of us, every white person is born racist, and if you don't think you're racist, you're just not conscious to your racist beliefs. You're unconscious to it. Unconscious bias at the individual level and throughout your organization. There's no magic recipe for building an inclusive workplace. It's a process that needs to involve people of color and that needs to go on for as long as your company is in business. But with these tools at your disposal, you will be on your way. I'm going to watch this course. I really am. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. It's a good reason to start drinking Pepsi-Cola. I like Pepsi better than Coke anyway. I really do. It's a little sweeter. I've always liked Pepsi better than Coke, but I don't know. I don't know. Coke just seems to be everywhere you go. But I think I'm going to start drinking more Pepsi instead of Coke. I love Coke. But this is pretty brutal stuff. All right, listen, it's 20 minutes. Oh my goodness, I lost track of the time. It's 20 minutes. I guess white people are born not to be on time either. I'm on white time, 5 minutes late for the break. Uh-oh. 20 minutes after 7. Our number is a toll-free call from anywhere. 1-888-GO-CANE 1. 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. We will take our break and be right back after this. Do not go anywhere.
Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca.
Crazy, isn't it?
To a Champagne Automotive, and I gotta say that this man is the most fair mechanic I have dealt with in my entire life. We took a car over there that was not being used yet. It belonged to my 90-year-old dad. Everybody I had taken it to before was charging an astronomical amount of money. But when we took it over there, Eddie took a look at it, and I gotta say that this man fixed the car. It's running like a charm. Anybody that needs a mechanic, I strongly recommend Eddie, and he is just the best thing that's happened to this family as far as car maintenance goes. It's fixed. Bottom line, it's fixed, and the price was right.
Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca will never do a repair on your car that your car doesn't need. And their prices are low. Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca. Give them a call. 561-245-8101. 561-245-8101. Hi, Brian Craig here. You've heard Dr. Mitch Matez and Steve Kane's wife Lori talk about their COVID testing at Any Lab Test Now of Boca and Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. I've been tested too. So is Steve Kane and his son Tyler. Today on the radio, Rabbi David called in. He felt that he was getting sick and wanted to get tested for coronavirus. So he went to Any Lab Test Now of Boca.
Go to Rabbi David. Hey, Rabbi.
By the way, you might hear congestion in my voice. I actually had a lot of congestion. I felt a little sick, and of course, I get nervous that, is it COVID or not? My wife also. So guess what we did? I listened to you. I went down to Any Lab Test Now yesterday, and I couldn't believe it. Went right in there. They put a little tiny thing, you didn't even feel it in my finger. Literally 10 minutes later, not a second more, they came back and said, you're fine, negative, great. We went on our way, and we just, not even worried. So
that $69 price is just for Steve Kane Show listeners. You got to mention that, and it's that little finger test. You get it real quick. I'll tell you,
Steve Kane Show.
Somebody has any type of congestion, all of a sudden,
Steve Kane Show.
there's anxiety sets in, not just for them, but everybody around them. It's best just to go in and get the test. Say, I don't have the COVID. You know what I mean? Instead of dealing with all the wonder.
And they give you a piece of paper. So yesterday, I actually walked around with it. When people heard, oh, you don't sound so good, I take out that piece of paper. I said, I was tested right here, and I pick up the piece of paper and showed it to them that says negative. And
Any Lab Test Now of Boca and Coral Springs, they're good people, and we're very lucky to have them.
They're very caring and full of information.
First, we had a doctor recommendation from Dr. Mitch Matez. Now we have a rabbi. Rabbi recommended Any Lab Test Now of Boca, Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs for your COVID testing. Yeah, that's great. Rabbi recommended.
Any Lab Test Now of Boca and Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. Rabbi recommended by Rabbi David for COVID testing. Rapid coronavirus testing, just $69. But you have to mention you heard them on the radio. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs is located on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood near the Coral Square Mall. Their number, 954-906-5983. Any Lab Test Now of Boca is in the Sandalfoot Plaza where the Western Beef is. Their number, 561-237-5009. Make sure you mention you heard them on the radio.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for W.
Oh man, welcome back. 24 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian. This is the Steve Kane Show. Coke, I guess, because of this new training video saying that all white people are born racist, that all white babies are racist, and and if you don't admit this, you're a racist. Coca-Cola. A lot of people talking about Coca-Cola. Give up Coke. It's got to be one of the most unhealthy things that you can possibly have. A little secret about Coca-Cola. I was just thinking about it when I heard the commercial for Champagne Automotive Repair, who do incredible work. I mean, they just do incredible. Today I drove my Ford Explorer in. It's going on 190,000 miles on my Ford Explorer, and it's an 03. So it's 18. How old does a car have to be for me to get classic plates? But it's an 18-year-old car. And I was ready to take it to the junkyard. My neighbors, it had not run for over a year. It was at my house, and my neighbors put on the front windshield and the back windshield wiper one of those We Buy Junk Cars things. And I took it over to Champagne Automotive Repair, and it didn't cost much money at all. That little leak in the radiator. Got a new radiator, and I drive that car to work. I just drove it today. It's spectacular. But when I was listening, I was thinking about this in Coke. I'm sure a lot of you guys know this. A lot of people don't know, but sometimes when you look at the battery on your car and it's got all that corrosion on the cables, and you got to clean off the corrosion. You know how you clean off the corrosion? That's what I've been doing this for years. Off a battery, you get a can of Coke. It can't be a fountain Coke. It's got to be a can of Coke. Bottle doesn't work as well as a can, but you get a can of Coke. You pour the Coke on the corrosion on your car battery, and it eats it right up. That's what we put in our stomach. And they're telling us we've got a problem? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh man. Coke. Wasn't it Bill Cosby who was their spokesperson? They've had great spokespeople, Coke. Bill Cosby, we know what he did. He's in prison for it. Michael Jackson. This is interesting. So Coca-Cola, who paid God knows how many millions of dollars to Bill Cosby, right? Have a Coke and a smile, right? One of the most well-known rapists of our time, and of course millions and millions of dollars to Michael Jackson, who was a pedo, we find out, and they're preaching morality to us. I think they got some other fish to fry over there. I don't want to hear any morality preaching from these guys. Now, I had this clip on Friday, and I didn't play it, but I don't think I played it. If I did, I've forgotten. But this thing with Rudy Giuliani with pro golfer Michelle Wie. I never heard of Michelle Wie before. I mean, I don't really watch golf, and sometimes people in my family will watch golf. I don't think I've ever watched ladies golf, but she's a lady golfer, Michelle Wie. And Giuliani was on with Steve Bannon the other day, and he was talking about a Rush Limbaugh memory. And he was going golfing with Rudy Giuliani, and there were all these photographers there. And this is Mayor Giuliani telling this story. Listen.
Every once in a while, I was always his partner. So we'd always ride together. He always wanted me to drive, because he wanted to be smoking cigars. So one day we're driving, and these paparazzi are driving us crazy. They're taking pictures, And he said, Giuliani, what did you do now? They're all following you around. You know how I hate pictures taken. I know you're famous, but damn, can't you tell them to stay away? And he's like growling. And I say, you just come up to the green with me. Come on. So on the green is Michelle Wie, and she's getting ready to putt. Now, Michelle Wie is gorgeous. She's 6 feet. And she has a strange putting stance. She bends all the way over, and her panties show. And the press was going crazy. They were following her all around because they were trying to take pictures of her panties. I said, Roger, it's not me, it's not you, it's her panties. Right? Is that okay to tell that joke? I'm not sure.
Okay, that's Giuliani. Okay, he's talking about Michelle Wie's panties that show when she is ready to swing. I've never heard of Michelle Wie before, but she's in the news today griping about Giuliani, and I just read this to you. It says here, pro golfer Michelle Wie, who is not as good looking as Giuliani makes out. I see her here. I mean, you know, I don't think, pro golfer Michelle Wie has shared her shock at hearing Rudy Giuliani's unsettling story about looking up her skirt during a charity event 7 years ago. Now again, the first time I heard of Michelle Wie was this Giuliani story, and I never saw her until just now. She's, I mean, are you telling me that this is the first time that Michelle Wie knew that you could see her panties when she was about to swing? And I want to throw this out to you people out there, because I know we got a lot of golf fans. A lot of you guys watch golf. Is this a thing? I mean, was Michelle Wie unaware that her underwear was showing when she would take a golf swing? And he said she had an unusual stance. Is she a famous lady golfer? And is her fame equal to her skill on the golf course? Or is she more famous because she would show her underwear? Giuliani told the story, the one I just played, Thursday, when he appeared on Steve Bannon's podcast to eulogize his friend Rush Limbaugh. The unpredictable former lawyer to President Trump seemed to shock Bannon when he recounted a day with Limbaugh on the golf course, which you just heard. And the LPGA star, age 31, responded to Giuliani's comments in a statement on Friday, accusing her of objectifying him. And she said this. This is what Michelle Wie's statement is. I had to hear it, so you do too. Rudy Giuliani tells an absolutely disgusting story about golfing with Rush Limbaugh. Okay, it's unsettling to hear of this highly inappropriate story shared on a podcast by a public figure referencing my panties whilst playing at a charity pro-am, we wrote in a statement on Twitter. What this person should have remembered from that day was the fact that I shot 64 and beat every male golfer in the field, leading our team to victory. I shudder to think that he was smiling to my face and complimenting me on my game while objectifying me and referencing my panties behind my back all day. Now, there is no way in hell that Michelle Wie did not know that if what Giuliani is saying is true, which I don't know. I've never seen her play golf. The only picture I've seen of her is not of a golf stance. It's her walking straight on a golf field, standing up forward. Was that a thing with her for her underwear to be showing? He said she had a very strange stance that allowed her panties to show. Is that true? And did she not know that? Or did she use this? She calls it objectifying. Or did she kind of use that to get a little famous? I don't know. I'm asking you guys because, like I say, I don't know. Let's see here. I shudder thinking that he was smiling to my face and complimenting me on my game while objectifying me and reverencing my panties behind my back all day, which should be discussed as the elite skill level that women play at, not what we wear or look like. My putting stance 6 years ago was designed to improve my putting stats. I ended up winning the U.S. Open that year, not as an invitation to look up my skirt. Nike makes skirts with shorts built in underneath for this exact reason, so that women can feel confident and comfortable playing a game that we love. You can get a longer skirt, can't you? And if you're at her level and you decide not to wear a skirt because you don't want your underwear showing and you don't want Giuliani and others seeing your panties, you could do something to prevent that. I would say that she and other women that do such things want people to look at their panties. Come on. Trying to tell me that women don't want men looking at them? Why do they wear the short skirts with the pants? Come on. All right, so anyway, I know we got some golfers out there. I'm not one. We'll take our break for the bottom of the hour. Was Michelle Wie famous for this? I bet she was. Is this the first time she learned that her panties showed every time she was putting? Is Giuliani a pig? Come on. 1-888-GO-CANE 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. We will take our break for the bottom of the hour, come back with your calls, and much, much more. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back right after this.
Brian Craig here. You've heard me tell you how I Will Advisors can help.
Steve Kane Show. Not yet. Hold on. You'll be first up. Hold on. Steve Kane Show. Hold on. Steve Kane Show. Hold on.
Debbie Klatzoff and Dan Frazier at I Will Advisors right now. 954-753-8080. Have them do a free, customized income for life report for you today. They can help you see if you have a plan that works for you. Your mind at ease.
Notorious Monday.
He hasn't connected yet. He hasn't tried.
Or 753-8080. I Will Advisors, your financial planning partners.
This is Dr. Mitchell Matez. I'm excited to announce that my practice has morphed into the Bio Station. To all of my existing patients, please be assured that you will continue to receive the same quality and personalized
Steve
care
Kane
that you
Show.
are accustomed to. We will be located at Atlantic Avenue and Lyons Road.
Brian?
Market Shopping Center, directly across from the Delray.
Yeah, what do you want to talk about?
At my new office number, 561-320-8893.
What? Okay. That's what I thought.
8893.
The Steve Kane Show
Trolls.
is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid throwback. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Search for W.
All right, welcome back, everyone. 35 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian Craig. It's Monday, February 22nd, 2021. We brought up a lot of things on this Monday morning. I'm just going to go right to the phones now. 1-888-GO-CANE 1 is our number. 888-465-2631. You're on the radio. What's your name?
Hi, Brian. It's Rolanda.
Hey, Rolanda.
I'm going to just address both subjects. As far as the Michelle Williams thing, I'm not going to speak too much about it. She knows what she's doing, okay? And
Michelle Wie?
but that men objectify her. As far as I'm concerned, if the tables were turned and a man were doing the same thing, only we could see his frontal part, we would call that sexual harassment. See how hypocritical we become? But that's another issue for that. With respect to Ibrahim, okay?
You're talking about Ibrahim X with the how to be an anti-racist and the Coke thing?
Yeah, here's the problem with him. He is a racist.
Oh, yes.
Racist. And people send their children to college to listen at filth and garbage like that. Here's the problem, Brian. Number one, He's basically telling people, all people, to accept unhygienic, uneducated, or anti-intellectual presentations and all sorts of things. He's the type of person who would tell you that a person who works at a bank who is wearing so quote unquote natural or an afro like a lot of us who are black wear, and you work at that bank, and when we look at you, you look like you just rolled out of bed and you have linen, like you haven't combed your hair. You're not supposed to judge that.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen.
You know, if I you know, like if you watch me on YouTube, I get up in the morning, I shower, wash my hair, I bathe, and I put I don't know what this kind of hair product I have is. It's from Axe. It comes in a round metal can. It's like some kind of paste thing. But if you saw what my hair looked like in the morning, and I showed up to work like that, you'd be like, "Oh my gosh, Brian," you know.
Exactly, Brian. He acts like what Motown, Barry Gordy did years ago. They had a class that they established in hygiene. That's why the acts at Motown were to this day, we still look up to. They are our idols because they were, number one, very, very, very put together well, and they were talented. He acts like there's something.
Well, you know, here's the thing with this thing at Coke, this thing that Coca-Cola is putting out, that all white people are born racist, and they are racist, and yeah. Well, no, that's hardcore race. I mean, that's racism beyond imagination. I mean, you know, and and you know what you have now with, and this is a sad thing, but what you have now with liberal African Americans is they want to oppress white people. And they feel justified in doing it for the 400 years of things that they never experienced. You know?
To be able to go into the workforce, look any kind of way, you're supposed to ignore it. And if he's and what he doesn't quite understand is, and if he's talking about being more white, more black people will scorn you faster than a Caucasian will, to be quite honest with you. And they have a right to, Brian, because this is a matter of hygiene. It's a matter of presentation. Come on, this is the real world, Mr. Ibrahim. And people send their children to colleges to listen.
Well, that Ibrahim, is it that book, How to Be an Anti-Racist? Is it Ibrahim X? Is that what he goes by? I think it might be. And I did get the audio book, and I got through a good chunk of that book in the car, and it's hard to believe that guy graduated college. I mean, the reason I got the book is because all I hear now is this anti-racist thing, and I couldn't understand what it is, what anti-racist is, and what anti-racism is. Well, what anti-racism is what we heard from Coke. All people are born racist that are white. White people are all racist by nature, and they cannot be fixed. If you agree with that, you're an anti-racist. That's basically it.
Yeah, I know, and it's outright garbage. I just hate to see a generation of people grow up to espouse such, not just stupid, but if you could use the word, unpractical, unrealistic garbage.
Yeah.
That's what he's.
Now, did you hear this thing? Now, Rolanda, did you hear this thing I had earlier? Apparently, back in 1963, Joe Biden is telling us he breached the Capitol. Let me play this if you're just tuning in. This is Senator Joe Biden, 2007, on David Letterman.
So what was that like, walking into the great Senate chamber at 29 years old?
You know, I walked in when I was 21, and I got arrested. It was a Saturday. I was down visiting some friends at Georgetown University, and I came up on a Saturday morning because I was fascinated with the Senate. And then a Saturday session, I walked up. Those days, no guards stopping you everywhere, and they just got out of session. I walked in the back. All of a sudden, I found myself in the chamber, and I was stunned. I walked up, sat down, the presiding officer's seat. Guy grabbed me by the shoulder, said, "You're under arrest."
Wow, so he did the same thing that the Viking shaman did. He breached the Senate chamber. He was 21, 1963, went and sat in the chair where the vice president sits and was arrested. Can he be impeached for breaching the Capitol?
Brian, there's a saying, if you're living in a glass house, don't throw stones.
Exactly.
That's the reason why Donald Trump will be speaking at CPAC.
Oh, I can't wait. Can't wait. I'm gonna make a prediction about that. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think the mainstream media are going to carry it live.
What? There is C-SPAN. There are other outlets, and we will watch. We will.
I don't think they're going to carry it either. I'm telling you, they're not going. President Trump is speaking this coming Sunday at CPAC in Orlando. I don't think any of them will carry it.
But you know what, Brian? We'll find, as usual, we all will find out about it, and that man will be heard. I'm tired of a bunch of hypocrites in Congress and in this White House.
Oh, yeah.
Their opinions and their garbage.
That's right. All right, Rolanda, thanks for the call. All right, take care. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Hey, what's up, Doug?
Hey, Doug. What's up?
First of all, this Michelle Wie is taking her nice legs in her panties right to the bank. She knows exactly what she...
Oh, there you go. You're objectifying her now. She learned for the first time from Mayor Giuliani last week that all the years she's played pro golf that you could see her panties when she was putting. She never knew that before.
Yeah, ridiculous. I know Rudy. I mean, I've been with Rudy, and we tell dirty jokes. He won't even say anything nasty to anybody in front of him. So, but he's a man. I mean, and he has eyes. So.
I mean, listen, if Michelle Wie's not that good looking, by the way, I'm just looking at this picture of her, but if you are a woman and people can see your panties when you're golfing, and you're on television when you're doing it, to claim that she never heard of this before, Mayor Giuliani on Thursday, is insane. I mean, she's just a damn liar. Is she still playing pro golf? I don't know anything about her.
I don't know. I don't follow golf, but I know that I've seen her pictures with her panties showing, and she's...
Is Michelle Wie more famous for her great golfing skill or because her panties? Which is she more famous for?
She's... I don't know. Like I said, I don't follow golf at all.
Okay. Because I thought maybe you did. Because I never heard of her before. I don't either. And even most...
I've seen pictures of her panties. Look at this. She's getting away with showing herself off. And it must be for financial...
Well, it's interesting. I'm curious. She says Nike has a special golf skirt with shorts built in for women to wear, so you see the shorts and not the panties. And okay, why wasn't she wearing that?
Like the tennis pros when they're playing and they have their panties show when they serve. It's just the way it is. They want to...
How else are you going to get men to watch women's sports, right? Why do you think the WNBA failed?
Yeah.
Exactly. Who wants to see them exactly?
Yeah, exactly. I was thinking, are you going to go to CPAC? Because
no, unfortunately, I'm not going to CPAC.
I think you should take off a day and see if you can get an interview with the president.
Well, the reason I'm not going to CPAC is I was talking about this on Friday. Believe me, I would love to go. I have an opportunity to go, but because of COVID, my wife's very high risk, and it's in a hotel room. I mean, it's in hotel rooms in a hotel, and it's too COVID risky. Last year they had a bunch of people got it, from CPAC, and you have people flying in everywhere and being in these small rooms. I just can't. My wife hasn't really. My wife has left the house in the last year. You could count on one hand how many times my wife has left the house, and because she's so high risk, and it's just I can't. I'm not going to take the chance. It's just unfortunate.
I was thinking you might be able to get an interview with the president.
Oh, I could. I've got an opportunity to go as a big shot, but I can't take the chance. It's killing me.
Wow. Yeah, that must be a tough decision, but I guess...
What, my wife or CPAC? Well, it's not that tough. My wife or CPAC? No, it's not. It's not really a tough decision at all, Doug. No.
All right,
well, part of it is, I'm going to tell you, a couple people in our family had just gotten COVID. A family friend just died of COVID a little over a week ago. So, so I'm not going to take the chance. It's still, can't take the chance.
Take the chance. Anyway, You went to Disney though this week?
I did not go to Disney this weekend. But Disney is outside. It's different. When you go to Disney, 90% of it is outside. You know, you're not. And if you go to CPAC, okay, you're in. For the most part, you're in closed-in areas, inside buildings and small rooms in the hotel with people. It's not the same as if you're outside.
That's true. That's true. 100%. Yeah, you got to be careful.
And Trump and you know, if you go to any Trump event, like when I was up at Mar-a-Lago the other day on President's Day last Monday, Trump people go out of their way to not social distance or wear masks. And everyone, like when I was, you know how many people tried to hug me at President's Day? Everyone's trying to hug me. You know, I mean, because this is a big thing now. We're, you know, the Trump people, we're like Italians. Everybody wants to hug and kiss it. Guys, I'm talking about men wanting to hug each other just to show that, you know, we're not social distancing. We got no mask and we're hugging. And they, you know, they're going to start kissing each other on the cheek soon. And it's becoming like a symbol of freedom to not wear a mask, not social distance, and be as close to one another as possible is becoming a big part of the conservative movement right now. And I'm just not going to take that chance.
Yeah, you got to be careful. Anyway, we're going back to Biden. One thing about Biden has to go. You know, Biden lied about being arrested in Africa. I wonder if he's lying about being.
Well, I don't know. You know, he said that he. Well, see, this is an important thing because they impeached President Trump for inspiring people, so they claim, for breaching the Capitol, which he was completely cleared of in the Senate trial. But according to Joe Biden in 2007. He actually breached the Senate chamber and was arrested. So I think it would be interesting as just a public interest story to go and get the police report that from the Capitol Police from 1963. How many people did they arrest in 63, the Capitol Police? Not many, I'm sure.
I bet you he's going to turn around and say, when nobody could find anything, well, arrested, like he said in Africa, means he was just stopped.
Well, okay, so if he made it up, but still, Jen Psaki should be asked about it. You know, this was a new video clip from 2007 on the David Letterman show, shows that then Senator Biden says that he was arrested for trespassing into the Senate chamber and sitting in the seat where the Viking shaman sat. Yeah, I mean, she should be asked about it, don't you think?
I hope so, but I don't think that's going to happen. You know,
I don't know. Steve Doocy, Peter Doocy is the White House correspondent for Fox. He's the only one that asks any good questions. He very well could ask her. All right, Doug, I got to run for a break, but thanks for the call. You know, and the thing with Doug, Biden, you know, that's just Joe. I'm tired of this. That's just old Joe. Okay, Joe, you know, no matter what. That's just Joe. We shouldn't ask. We shouldn't talk. No, we should. And if he lied, he lied, okay? But let's investigate it, and let's try to find that arrest report from 1963. Okay, we're going to take our break. We'll be right back. If you're on hold, stand by. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. We'll be back right after this.
Brian Craig here. I've been telling you for years how great my
Steve Kane Show.
are, but don't just take my word for it. This is
Yep, hold on. You'll be next. Hold on. Steve Kane Show. Hold on. Steve Kane Show. Hold on.
Tell us about his experience with the My Pillow mattress topper.
Yeah, I'm calling to get testimonial about my pillow topper.
You ordered the My Pillow, the mattress topper?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Well, I was thinking about buying a new mattress. My old mattress was getting old, so my wife's like, "Why don't you try that pillow, that mattress top?" So I went on. I used your promo code Kane. I got great price. Got it home, and I've been using it for the last 3 nights. It's fantastic.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's like a whole new mattress.
I talked to other listeners with the My Pillow mattress topper, and they come in all sizes. The mattress companies have turned into con artists. When I was a kid, mattresses were two-sided. You'd have the mattress, then after a while, you'd flip it over. Now you can't flip mattresses anymore. They don't make them that way anymore because people weren't buying mattresses enough. So the mattress companies stopped making two-sided mattresses, and mattresses are expensive. I've had to buy a new mattress, and mattresses can cost well over, just for a regular normal mattress, over $1,000. So that My Pillow mattress topper is a big savings. It saves you from buying a new mattress and turn your whole bed into a My Pillow.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I really love it. I sleep really good.
Well, that's great. Well, I appreciate that. You guys out there, remember, promo code
not
Kane,
being able to be president if you have
use
an
the
arrest
promo code
record.
Kane.
Yeah.
And at MyPillow.com. Save 30% off your MyPillow mattress topper and receive 2 free MyPillows. But you got to use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. 30% off the MyPillow mattress topper. Turn your old mattress into a big MyPillow mattress. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E at MyPillow.com.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for
All right, welcome back. 8 before 8. I'm Brian. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name?
Hi, it's Andrea from Pennsylvania.
Hey, Andrea. What's up?
So, Michelle Wie is probably wearing the same thing as the cheerleaders do. They're not panties. They're, well, I'm going to age myself. We used to call them lollipops.
Okay.
Or just like, they're a cover that goes over your panties. The thing that offends her is that Giuliani said panties. That's number one.
Uh-huh. Well, first off, okay, go ahead. What's number 2?
Number 2 is the white re-education.
Oh, yes, at Coca-Cola. Well, Coca-Cola's training says all white people are born racist.
Oh, right, of course. Because this is a big money maker now.
What is?
Right, so, well, this whole, white re-education and white guilt.
Well, it always has been. They called it diversity training before. This has always been a big money maker. They just, they're just branching out into this anti-racist thing. You think about this, okay? Coca-Cola's training says that white people are born racist, and they remain racist until they admit the sins of being white and overcome this through this training video. That means a baby inside the womb is racist, a white baby, right? A baby growing inside the womb is a white racist. It's in the womb. It's going to be born racist, so in the womb it's racist. If someone, now this is a serious question to ask these anti-racist and lefties. Certainly having racist in the world is not a good thing. What if a woman who's pregnant with one of these racist white babies, because all babies are racist according to Coca-Cola's training, what if she wants to have an abortion simply because she doesn't want to bring a racist into our society, right? Which the biggest problem we're facing next to climate change, of course, is racism from Caucasians. Wouldn't she be doing a public service by aborting her racist white baby before it can be out in the world with its, being able to act on its racism?
Right? Wouldn't that be amazing?
Yeah.
How much this acclaimed preventer of racism is making off these trainings.
Oh, there's a lot of money to be made off the training. I mean, I had to pay $10 for the damn book on how to be an anti-racist. The audiobook was $10 or something.
I can tell you, I talked to my boss, and I was just like, don't. I'm like, don't do the forced vaccine thing. Don't do that. This is what, we're going through anti-racism training.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Well, I'll tell you what this does, okay? What this kind of thing does. It makes people fearful of hiring minorities, is what it does. Because, in this new era we're in, if you hire someone who's out of college, typically they're going to be a lefty if they're right out of college, and they're a minority, next thing you know, they're calling you a racist, jamming up your business, and what they really do is cause discrimination against black people because people become afraid to hire them because they don't want to have happen to them what's going on at Coca-Cola right now. There's a similar thing going on at McDonald's too. Yeah, and I mean, think about it. If you're hiring someone, would you want to hire someone that could do this to your company? Probably not.
That's a good point. I didn't even think about it.
No, that's what I mean. Like if you had, if you're doing some hiring and you are interviewing a woman and you find out that she filed a sexual harassment claim against her previous employer, that's probably going to stop her from getting hired because you don't know what happened. If she was abused or harassed, of course you don't approve of that, but you don't want to get sued yourself and accused of sexual harassment. You probably would put her resume in the garbage and hire the next person. And the same goes for this. And that's a sad reality of it, but it's true. I mean, I'm not in a position to hire people, so I don't, I'm not involved in this, but you got to consider things like that.
Well, I can tell you, it frightens me how this society is like flipping on a dime.
Well, see, this has all happened since Biden came into office. It's getting worse because he's surrounded by very racist, militant people. By the way, this Michelle Wie thing in the panties with the golfing, have you heard of her before?
You know what? I don't follow any sports, so I'm not the person.
No, I don't either. And I just suspect that I'm sure she's a great golfer. She plays pro golf, okay? I don't know anything about her, but I'm sure she's a great golfer, okay? But I bet you she's more famous for the panties than her skill at the game.
That could very well be. I don't know anything about her. I just, looked up some pictures of her, and in my opinion, I'm not Michelle Wie, but in my opinion, she's wearing lollipops underneath the golf.
Well, she said in her statement, she used the word panties in her statement, in her response to Giuliani objectifying her. Do women really not like men checking them out?
I like men checking me out.
There you go. Are you good looking?
Okay, I can hold my own.
Okay, yeah, okay. And you like it when men check you out? Like, when you say you like a man checking you out, what does that mean? Like, so if you're out, like, at a gas station, pumping gas, and a man checks you out, you like that?
It doesn't offend me to the point where I'm like...
No, I don't know. You said you liked it. Do you like it or not?
I do, and you know what? I check guys out all the time, and if any woman tells you that she doesn't, they're lying.
Now this is just, okay, so you like women, as a woman, you like men checking you out. When a woman checks out a man, we've had this discussion on this show before, but it's been a long time. Where do their eyes gravitate?
Well, I look at kind of face first and then shoulders, because I like broad shoulders. But I just kind of look at the whole package.
Well, okay, now you hit on the keyword package. Is it true that women's eyes gravitate towards the crotch area?
No, mine don't.
Yours don't. What about your girlfriends?
Some of them.
Here's the thing, okay, about women I think women like to be objectified until it's convenient not to be. That's what I think. And, the thing about women liking men to check them out, I think women do enjoy it. And men enjoy it too if women are checking them out, I'm sure. But I think women do enjoy it. The women that don't enjoy the objectifying are the women that are not attractive enough to be objectified. I mean, that's the reality of it. They're jealous of women who get checked out.
Well, I also like to flirt,
Ah, okay, all right. Well, hopefully you're not flirting with married men that you work with.
Well, no.
Are you married?
No.
Okay, all right. Well, then it's okay then. Maybe liberal women don't like to be objectified. Maybe conservative women don't mind. Oh, you hear that beep? It's 8 o'clock. Hey, listen, I got to run for our break. All right, so Michelle, we're looking for someone that knows anything about Michelle Wie. All right, listen, we're going to take our break. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm Brian. This is Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. Steve will be joining us after the top of the hour. 2 hours down, 1 hour to go. We'll be back with your calls and Steve Kane after this.
1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network, WWNN, Pompano Beach.
This is Dr. Mitchell Matez of the Biostation West Delray.
Steve Kane Show. Steve Kane Show. Hold on. Yeah, Tyler said your computer wouldn't connect? Oh, okay. You have to use the phone. Yeah, I'm just texting the engineer, so he might have to come up here to fix that. But you'll just have to do it by the phone today. All right, hold on.
To schedule your appointment today.
This is Lori Kane, and I want to tell you about Brighton Dental Care. I just had a lot of work done, and I avoided going to the dentist for a lot of years because I was afraid of the cost. But I went to Brighton Dental for my free consultation.
Steve Kane Show.
Which, by the way, he offers to all Steve Kane listeners. I had 2 cavities. I needed a crown on top and a crown on the bottom. If I were a horse, they would have put me down. So
I don't. I'm sorry now, unfortunately.
Because Brighton Dental has Saturday appointments available, and they saved me a ton of money. And I will be a patient for life. Don't let cost stop you from taking care of your teeth. Brighton Dental gives Steve Kane listeners incredible discounts on all dental procedures, just like they gave me. Prices are so reasonable, you don't have to worry about the cost. So call Brighton Dental today at 954-922-4633. That's 954-922-4633. You can visit them at brightondental.com and tell them Lori Kane sent you.
This is Steve Kane for attorney Barry Siegel. Barry did a great job for me and my family when we needed a revocable living trust. Listen to one of our listeners, Ray, talk about his experience with Barry Siegel.
I want to praise Barry Siegel. And one of the most important things about sponsors is integrity. You have to know that you're dealing with an honest person. I had to go up to Myrtle Beach with my sister because her husband died, and I was helping her out. She had a trust and everything. She had not revised this trust since 1997. And Barry says every 3 years at least you gotta. I called Barry's office because I had a question. I let the secretary know. I said, look, I'm calling from South Carolina. I know the laws are different, and I'm just asking for information for my sister. Now, most people just blow you off, right? Almost immediately, within a few minutes, Barry himself called me. I asked my questions and so on, and he answered. He was very patient. I'm quite a while with him, and I talked about a lot of things, and this and that. But I wanted to say, character, integrity, these are the most important things with sponsors, and all of your sponsors, because I've dealt with a lot of them, they all have that you can trust them and you're getting a fair shake.
Do what Ray did. Call attorney Barry Siegel right now. Toll free 1-855-FLA-3782. That's 1-855 toll free FLA-3782. Tell them Steve sent you.
You are listening to South Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll free, dial 1-888-COCAINE. 1. That's 1-888-COCAINE. 1. And now.
All right, third hour has begun. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Show. We have Steve on the phone again because we're having some technical problems connecting to your studio, but I just left a message for the engineer, so hopefully that'll be taken care of today. How's it going, Steve?
Hey, how are you doing?
All right.
Bad day for us, technically.
Yeah, every Monday's a screw-up. I'm starting to think someone comes in here on Sundays and just messes up everything.
You read my mind.
Some liberal. Every Monday.
Good morning. How are you?
Oh man, we got all kinds of stuff going on. Before I bring up anything, did anything over the weekend catch your attention?
I'll tell you what's caught my attention. It's really amazing. The more things change in life, the more they remain the same. I was thinking this morning when from election night. That election night was
Oh yeah. Sure was. Mm-hmm. You're still grieving. You're still grieving. Are you guys sitting Shiva over there for Rush though?
The past has left a glaring hole, not just in my life, but I guess if there's any question whether Rush was something special or something amazing, this settles it.
Well, you know what I wonder is what's going to happen. What's going to happen to you and the millions of others, the ditto heads, right? Between noon and 3 every day.
I'm going to be listening to Rush.
Well, you know what? They announced, the EIB executives announced Friday that they are going to run the best of Rush indefinitely until the listeners say they don't want to hear it anymore.
That's what I'm talking about. And no other, to the best of my knowledge, no other talk show host has made the kind of impression that even after they're passed on, they continue to do their show. And
that's crazy.
Quite frankly, I've come used to listening to Rush, and when Rush wasn't on, there was a hole in my day, and I was getting ready to be depressed for years. All of a sudden, here we are 2 weeks later, back on.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 2024.
Yeah, and it's we're going to be able to listen to Rush, those of us who want to, which I'm sure will be most of his listeners, and things are looking bright.
That's so crazy when you think about this. Because we've been wondering, would there be a replacement? And who would they plug in there? And it looks like no one for the foreseeable future. Now I don't know if they're going to have like fill-in people introducing segments, because they've done that sometimes on best of shows. I was talking, Steve, in the first hour. I watched an old Phil Donahue show from 1992 with Rush on it. And first off, Phil Donahue is one of the biggest no talents in the history of television. I didn't know it back then, but when I watch him now, I don't know how that guy made it. But
I did his show.
Yeah, Phil, you were on Donahue, yeah, when it was a thing, and I was watching Rush. I guess this was 29 years ago. And everything he was predicting in 1992 has come true today from the left. And believe it or not, in 1992 he was talking about global warming. He said global warming, Rush. And he said global warming's a lie that the socialists are using to get control over our lives. And now here they're doing it. It's like happened now, just as an example.
It was pressing into a lot of... The point is that there's not going to be that big gaping hole in the middle of the day.
But listen, how's that going to work though? Because in theory, the stories, the issues, some things are the same, but they obviously can't do shows on the new events of the day. How long are they going to be able to play best of in primetime radio?
I was thinking about this. There's two ways to do this show. First, you can run it in sequence, which means it's like if Rush was sick. You get a show from last week, so they can keep it close to the regular, the time that the regular.
Yeah.
Or they can start doing. They have a big staff over there sitting on their hands. They could edit whole new shows out of what he's got and make them. Topical.
Well, I see doing that, working, out of respect for a while. But at some point, what I thought they would do is.
This is what people want. I mean, I'll be listening to Rush.
In a year, what about in a year or two though? Are they still going? They said till the.
It's a long time. A year is a long time. They're going to start it one way, and they'll do trial and error. They'll see what works.
You know what I bet you they're doing, what they're going to do? And I don't know how far back they have his shows. I'm assuming they have his shows at least the 92 Clinton campaign, at least. I don't know how far back. I would imagine that they're going to offer a subscription service to listen online where you have access to all the shows of Rush Limbaugh going way back then, and people would do that. But I was,
Be a part of it. For those Rush listeners that want him to remain a part of their lives, you will have access to that possibility. And it seems like all of a sudden now that the race is starting to take shape. Rush is going to be the candidate. It's going to be just
Trump's going to be the candidate. Trump's going to be the candidate. You said Rush.
Trump's going to be. Rush is going to.
Trump is going to run, and Rush will be on the air talking about it.
It's going to be cheerleading.
Yeah.
Great. It's going to be like it was. So and I went through, I did to myself enough.
Well, I'll tell you, okay, I did not listen to Rush all that often, okay? I really didn't, for a couple of reasons. But I never disliked the guy. I just didn't listen a lot. And I've been watching a lot of Rush Limbaugh interviews over the weekend on YouTube, old interviews like the one on Donahue and a bunch of others. And I didn't appreciate him enough when he was around. I've come to realize, I really didn't. Well, yeah, I really didn't. I mean, and I'm not talking about just shows from years ago. I'm talking about more recent shows, too, because I've watched some of the more recent ones and listened to some of the more recent shows.
They have a lot of action. Rush will still be with us. The race will still be with us, which is great. And we're not going to miss a beat. Because
well, here's the thing, though. Everybody compares Stern with Rush because they're the two big radio guys. They're different. See, what Howard Stern does are interviews a lot, right? So you could run his interview, like an interview is an interview with a celebrity. And so, like, if they did this with Howard Stern, it wouldn't be much of a difference, But with Rush, the things he talks about are so topical to what's. I'm not saying it wouldn't be interesting to listen to. Don't misunderstand me. But a lot of what he's talking about is so topical to what's going on in the world at that particular moment that doing it for the short term.
And it's like that. My favorite saying: the more things change, the more they remain the same. What's going to go on
Good
now,
morning, Cheryl.
I'm assuming, once we get into the new scheduling, is going to be, as far as talk radio goes, a lot like what was going on before. I mean, did you see the poll that they say if Rush split from the...
Trump. You keep saying Rush.
From the Republican Party, that 46% of Republicans would vote from? 46%.
Yeah, would split, yeah.
I mean, stop and think about that. That means he is totally in control of everything.
Well, when he gives his speech at CPAC next Sunday, which I don't think they're going to carry on television live.
They'll have it somewhere.
But he's what has come out from the Trump camp is that he's going to outline the future strategy of the Republican Party. So what he's going to be doing is dedicating himself to primarying out all these rhino traitors in the House races, and probably some senators too, but mostly the House races. And if he has a good sweep in those midterms, the day after he'll announce his candidacy for president, I'm guessing, for 2024.
Sounds like a good guess.
Yeah. Oh, I got a call, Steve, on Friday from Mike Lindell's office at MyPillow. They're doing well, but they brought back a special they discontinued because they knew, Mike Lindell, I was telling you guys on Friday, and I know a lot of you did this because I got emails and DMs on Twitter from listeners who did this. If you go to Google News and you type in Mike Lindell or MyPillow, you can see page after page of Mike Lindell and MyPillow under attack for his support of Trump. And they are very appreciative of all of the listeners, all the Trump people that have been supporting them by purchasing MyPillow products. And they brought back a special that was discontinued, but they're doing this specifically because they know people want to help and support MyPillow. And they have brought back their MyPillow Premium Pillow Special for just $29.98 when you use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com. But when you go to MyPillow.com, a pop-up screen comes up to save another $10 off. So you can actually, when you use the promo code KANE, you can get a premium MyPillow for just $19.98 at MyPillow.com using the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. And they brought that special back just for you guys to support them through this time. All right, listen, we'll take our break. We'll be right back. Steve Kane here on the phone while we're having technical difficulties with the studio connection. Well, no. MyPillow.com. MyPillow.com, promo code Kane, Kane. Oh, by the way, you can also order your MyPillow products on the phone. I keep forgetting to give out the phone. You can order by phone. Here's the number for the phone number, okay? The order by phone. 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. And make sure you use the promo code Kane when you call that number. All right, we'll finish up our break and be right back. Don't go anywhere.
For your tires, go easy on your budget and buy your tires at Friendly Tire in Margate, where they have all the
Steve Kane Show. Steve Kane Show. Hold on.
At Friendly Tire, just $75 a tire. That's a $100 savings per tire. Tires for my daughter Emily's car, $135 at the shops around town. The price at
Yeah, you hung up. You there? Yeah, hold on.
That's a $70 savings per tire. These prices are out the door and on the road. Free mounting and balancing and no added charges. Friendly Tire have a great selection of good used tires too, starting at just $30 for most cars. Call my good buddy Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire. Tell him what you drive and he will give you a great low price right over the phone at 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net. You've heard Steve Kane, Richie the bus driver, and many other Steve Kane listeners tell you about the great work Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental Care offers. Steve Kane listener, hey, called in, he had an accident, he went to Dr. Gupta, and he told us his
No, it's not a small one, Lowell. It is not. It's the full-size MyPillow. It is not. It is the premium MyPillow. It is not the small pillow. It's the regular size pillow for the bed. That is not true, Lowell. Nope. It's advertised for $29.98 with the promo code Kane, but there's a pop-up for another $10 off. No, that is not true.
I mean, besides the fact that my teeth look great, besides the fact that, you know, his assistant is really good, really nice, they're all really nice over there, the price was unbelievable. When I came home and I told my wife, she's like, I thought that thing was going to cost you 3 times as much. I said, so did I. And I just want to thank you. I want to thank you, Dr. Gupta. He's awesome. Appreciate your show. I listen to your show a lot. I only called in, this is the second time. Both times, one was to make sure I'm going to the right office where Dr. Gupta was, and then this one to let you know that he's great. I know you know he's great. I just want your listeners to know he's great. His assistant is
Hey,
great.
Debbie. Thanks, Ann. Appreciate it.
Awesome.
Well, listen, I'm glad you had a great experience with Dr.
Yeah, I did. Thank you again, Brian.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, and thank Eve, and you guys keep up the good work over there. I appreciate it. Dr. Gupta, you keep up the good work, too.
All right, there we go.
So everybody keep up.
All right, I think you guys just heard what will be the new commercial for Dr. Gupta.
Do what Hank did. Call Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental. For Steve Kane listeners, free consultations. And always the best price. Give Dr. Gupta a call right now. 954-922-4633. 954-922-4633.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for it.
All right, we are back. I'm Brian Craig, Steve Kane on the phone today due to technical problems. Our Monday morning gremlin, saboteur, I don't know exactly what it is. Yeah, we'll take a call or two. 1-888-GO-KANE-1. Good morning, you're on the radio.
In one of his last programs, Rush was talking about the swamp in Washington, that politicians all work there. What he left out, though, is that they all...
Yes.
Steve will relate to this. Robert Abdi said, where you live, that becomes your territory. This explains why they hate, and part of it explains why they hate Trump. He's not part of their territory.
Well, you know what it is. It's that old. It's like anthropology. You know, they're surrounded by Trump haters up there, so it's contagious. You know.
Can you see a big safety advantage? What they should do is come up to the 21st century, and they ought to by television and radio, and they ought to live in their own capital, like Springfield.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Can you see a safety?
Yeah. Okay. That sounds good. All right. Appreciate the call. Thanks so much. I got a couple sound bites I want to play for you that I haven't gotten to yet. They're talking. Biden wants to raise the minimum wage to $15 an hour, right? And this is an old thing. Of course, the Democrats are always trying to, raise the minimum wage. How about just open up the country? He's going to raise the minimum wage, but they've got half the country shut down still. But where people aren't earning any wage, But anyway, one of the Democrats was on TV over the weekend. One of the Congress people from California, Democrat Congressman Ro Kahana, and he was asked by an interviewer, well, $15 an hour is good. Okay, the big companies can do it, but what about the small businesses that say they can't afford to pay $15 an hour minimum wage? And his answer, you can't give the guy too hard of a time because his answer is so honest. This is a Democrat congressman.
Well, of course, large businesses like Amazon and McDonald's, for example, can and perhaps should pay more. But I'm wondering, what is your plan for smaller businesses? How does this, in your view, affect mom and pop businesses who are just struggling to keep their doors open, keep workers on the payroll right now?
Well, they should be doing it by paying people low wages. We don't want low-wage businesses. I think most.
We don't want. We don't want those. So if you're a small business and you can't afford $15 an hour, the Democrats don't want you. Shut your doors. At least the guy's honest. We don't want them. Yeah.
Right on the money, though.
Well, a lot of people believe, and I think there's some truth in this. These endless lockdowns and shutdowns. There's a lot of reasons why it continues, but a lot of people believe that one of the reasons things are shut down is to shut down small businesses so that these big Amazons can thrive, and these big companies are the big donors to the Congress people and to these governors. So they want to keep things locked down so that the big companies that give them all the campaign cash can wipe them out of business. Like when Blockbuster wiped out all the independent video stores. They're just doing it in a
unions are hooked up big business.
Ron DeSantis, who is becoming like the big conservative Republican figure now, because every day, and I'm not talking about in Florida news, I'm talking about in national news, it's always like what Ron DeSantis said today. It's becoming a regular thing, if you'd noticed lately. And Ron DeSantis is great. And yesterday, he had a press conference somewhere, and he was talking about the schools not being open right around the country. They've been open. The schools in Florida have been open since opening of schools this year. And he was asked about this $100 billion that Biden's talking about to give to the school systems to reopen. He says you don't need $100 billion, just open up the doors. I mean, what do they need the money for? And it's so true, and they, why do you think they're not opening up the schools? I think it's because the teachers are lazy.
To all of them,
they're lazy.
But, they'd rather, why would you want to work if you can get paid anyway?
Well, they're working from home, like you. Right?
Exactly.
But you're not responsible for 35 kids a day, or if it's high school or middle school, 150 kids a day. Yeah, the teachers don't want to. They sit at home in their pajamas all day on Zoom. They put on a shirt, but they're wearing pajama pants probably because they don't see their pants on the video, and they don't want to go to work. And the teachers union's always advocating for teachers to do less work, and they don't have those teacher planning days. Right, where they go to work and the kids don't. They don't have any of that anymore.
I know some teachers, and not all of them have that mindset.
No, but most teachers go into it for the time off. Most people go into teaching for the time off.
I don't think this is what they had in mind when they went into teaching for the time off. This is ridiculous.
I know.
Kids have gotten lost here.
Well, they're not getting an education. You can't get an education at home like you would get if you're in the classroom. I mean, there's no way. And every student in America got passed last year, whether or not they completed school. I don't think any kids failed last year. And the freshman class of college this year, they're the first incoming class of freshmen that didn't complete high school. They didn't graduate high school, but they're in college now, and there's no way that down the road that's not going to have an impact. They're not receiving a proper education like this. All right, let's take some calls. You're on the radio. What's your name?
Good morning, Ryan. It's Chris.
Hey, Chris.
Hey, Chris. Ryan. Hey, good morning, Steve. I'd like your thoughts on CPAC and the invitation they extended to Mike Pence.
Oh, that was great. I'm so glad they did it, because Mike Pence turned it down. Why? Because they knew he would turn it down. And now Mike Pence has gone on the record as turning down CPAC because he didn't want to get booed off stage. So that's awesome. They knew he wasn't going to accept it when they offered it.
Mike Pence is going to keep a low profile with this one.
They yeah.
That's why I called you.
You know, they gave Mike Pence the invitation, by the way, after President Trump had announced he would be speaking there Sunday, because they knew his refusing to go to CPAC, you know, looks like what it is. I mean, it did him damage. It exposed him. Don't you think? I mean, what? Yeah.
I didn't have a thought. I was upset that they even extended this traitor an invitation.
Well,
we're going to have to make our peace after that slips and that horrible thing that happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, the more quickly it's going to happen.
Yeah, this is the, yeah.
The Tea Party, 46% Republicans say.
Yeah. Leave with him. Yeah. 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 Yeah, because you know, Pence isn't welcome, and you know, Pence might have thought, you know, Pence doesn't think that he's a hated jerk, you know, so you know, he might have thought he had a run for the Republican nomination in 2024, you know. Yeah, but but the thing with Pence though, Steve. No, I'm not disagreeing with you on that. But the thing with Pence is afterwards he's been part of this crowd of blaming Trump for the Capitol breach. Yeah, well, you know where Pence's place is with the Democrats. That's where him and Romney, and Liz Cheney.
With Liz Cheney.
Yeah. Well, maybe Pence was always against Trump, like Sessions. Yeah, go ahead, caller.
You are so far off base with Pence. I can't.
Yeah. Well, listen, Chris, we got to run. But hey, if you're on hold, don't go anywhere. We'll take our break, and we'll be right back. I'm Brian. This is the Steve Kane Show. Steve's on the phone. I'm going to put you on hold, Steve. Okay? Steve's on the phone because we're having our Monday morning, which become a regular thing here, technical issues with Steve's connection. But we'll be back with your calls. Our number 1-888-GO-KANE-1. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back right after this.
Here, we've been telling you on the Steve Kane Show, for coronavirus testing, stop by any lab.
Steve Kane Show. Yeah.
Mitch Matez of the Boca Raton Center for Age Management went to any lab test now of Boca for coronavirus testing this weekend, and he called in live on the radio to share his experience.
Listen, Brian, I have a great experience to tell you about. I went to any lab test now on Saturday, to get COVID-19 tested. And it was awesome. We had a little experience where we had somebody in our close circle that tested positive after 10 days, by the way. Went and had a test. It took 10 days to get the results. We all went into a little bit of a panic, obviously. So we called up any lab test.
Steve Kane Show.
Maybe 11:30 in the morning on Saturday. They said, come on, right
Yep.
over.
What's your name?
Anonymous. I didn't announce myself. We went over there. We got
Okay.
there
What do you want to talk
noon.
about?
We checked in. 2 minutes later, they took us back, did our test. We sat in the waiting room for less than 15 minutes. They brought us back, gave us our results, which were negative, and we were on our way home. And a little shout out to Brittany, the nice young lady who did our test. It was completely painless. It was quick, it was simple, it was easy, and it gave you both the IgM and the IgG antibodies, which tells you if you have the infection now or if you've been exposed to it in the past.
Now, you went to any lab test now of Boca?
Boca Raton, yeah, in the Sandalfoot Plaza.
Awesome.
It was awesome. It really was. It was cool. And it's easy, it's simple, and I'm telling you, that's the way to go. Forget this 10-day nonsense.
Doctor recommended. Can I say that in the commercial now? Doctor recommended. Any lab test now of Boca
There you
Raton.
go. Doctor recommended. Yeah, it was really kind of cool, and it was wonderful, and it was easy. And listen, to that end, go over and get tested.
Steve Kane Show.
Test you want to get. It tells you point
Yeah, what do you want to
blank,
talk about?
do you have it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
That's great. So Dr. Mitch Matez personally recommending any lab test now of Boca.
You heard Dr. Mitch Matez. Any lab test now of Boca is doctor recommended for coronavirus testing. They're located in the Sandalfoot Plaza. It's where the Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road and north of Hillsboro on the east side of 441. Give them a call, 561-237-5009. 561.
Welcome. Those of you that are new here, make sure you subscribe, all right?
Any lab test now of Coral Springs is located on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood over by the Coral Square Mall. Their number, 954-906-5983. Any lab test now of Boca and any lab test now of Coral Springs. Make sure you tell them you heard about them on The Steve Kane Show.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WW.
All right, 33 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian Craig. Steve Kane here on the phone today. You with us, Steve? All right, we got you back. All right, let's take some calls. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Hey, how you doing? This is Al. Question for you. You guys were talking about minimum wage, which I think passed in Florida. Obviously, that would affect small businesses, but I don't know if this sounds stupid to say. It's just a question. If the government gets involved, I guess, isn't it per state, right? The state.
No, there's a federal minimum wage. There's a federal minimum wage, and then there's states have different. They have laws too. There's both.
So, if say a small company couldn't afford to pay somebody but $12 an hour, and they were, I don't want to say they were forced to, were told, oh, you have to up it to 13. I mean, up to 15, and they can't afford to pay them. Can't the government, like a head, say to that business, well, I don't want to say it's like a tax write-off, but like say to them, we'll pay the difference per how many employees you can afford?
No, because the minimum wage increase is always supported by the Democrats, and you heard the one Democrat. They don't want businesses they can't afford a minimum wage, so you got to shut down. They're not going to help you.
Yeah, that wouldn't be.
No, but what I said earlier is true. It's a lot with this lockdown. They want small businesses to go out of business so their big campaign donors like Amazon can thrive and take over.
And getting bigger and bigger and become more and more rich.
Yeah, it's all about the campaign donations. It's not about helping. If they were concerned about lifting people out of poverty, they would open up America.
That's what they should do. Another quick thing. Ever happened to the guy? My brother mentioned it to me the other day. You remember that guy that used to be on Newsmax? I think he's no longer on there. That guy Howie Carr. You ever heard of?
Yeah. Did they take Howie Carr off?
Yeah, I don't think he's on there. But I don't know if you heard this. There was something. I guess it was recently. My brother was listening to something on YouTube, and something that was kind of not funny, but kind of dumb with Biden and his stupid mistakes that he makes. So Biden went to I think it was like a factory or something. You would have to listen to it, and somebody mentioned to him, I guess an employer at some place, that their father unfortunately died from COVID, and Biden made a comment that was so stupid about how could I reach him? Like if somebody's dead already, how you on the phone?
Oh my goodness.
sound like a stupid guy.
Well, it sounds like he didn't hear what the guy said and he was trying to act engaged.
Probably misunderstood him, but...
But, you know, I uncovered this clip of then Senator Joe Biden in 2007, who actually, he breached the Capitol building back when he was 21 years old. Let me play this clip. This is 2007, Senator Joe Biden. He wasn't vice president yet. He was on David Letterman talking about in 1963, he breached the Capitol. Listen.
So what was that like, walking into the great Senate chamber at 29 years old?
You know, I walked in when I was 21, and I got arrested. It was a Saturday. I was down visiting some friends at Georgetown University, and I came up on a Saturday morning because I was fascinated with the Senate. And they had a Saturday session. I walked up those days, no guards stopping you everywhere, and they just got out of session. I walked in the back. All of a sudden, I found myself in the chamber, and I was stunned. I walked up, sat down, the presiding officer's seat. Guy grabbed me by the shoulder, said, "You're under arrest."
Wow. So, and by the way, he sat down in the seat where the Viking shaman sit down. So he was 21, he breached the Capitol, he trespassed into the Senate chamber, sat down in the chair where the vice president sits, and he says he was arrested for it.
And he did, this is when he was on David Letterman.
Well, when he was 21 years old, he did it. So certainly there must be an arrest report from 1963 that we could put on TV. I mean, if you can impeach a president who didn't breach the Capitol for breaching it, certainly you should be able to impeach. Well, he actually did it, so maybe he should be impeached for breaching the Capitol back in '63.
Unless you think he could have made it up too, like he makes up.
Well, of course, he probably did make it up. He's a compulsive liar, but that doesn't mean that you don't investigate it and find out if did Joe Biden breach the Capitol as he said, and look for that report. And if the report's not there, did he have the report disappeared? I don't know. We got to find out. I'd like to see Jen Psaki. This clip, by the way, I didn't find that on my own. Fox News broke that. It's on their website today. The Fox News channel broke that. So I'm assuming, because this is important that Fox News broke it. There's only one White House correspondent that asks questions in the briefings. That's Ducey, the Fox News White House correspondent. I'm expecting Ducey to ask Jen Psaki about this, since Fox has this video on their website. They broke the story.
So he'll probably say about circling around it or something.
Circle back? Yeah.
Circle back. All right, guys.
All right. Thank you for your call. Appreciate it. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Yeah, John.
Hey, John.
You brought up Mike Pence. First of all, Mike Pence refused to do whatever in the Senate.
Well, we're not going to get into all that stuff today. But you're right about him being in a rock in a hard place, but it doesn't mean he had to blame Trump for the breach, which he did. I had another couple of clips I wanted to play for you, Steve. Let me pull it up. Hold on, let me pull it up. I'm getting lost here. Oh, John Kerry said that we only have 9 years left on Earth, and it's all over. Listen, John Kerry.
We'll have left to avert climate catastrophe.
Well, the scientists told us 3 years ago we had 12 years to avert the worst consequences of climate crisis. We are now 3 years gone, so we have 9 years left.
That's it, 9 years, and it's over. Planet's done in 9 years. I missed the story where he turned in his jet, though, his private jet, and if he would do like Ted Cruz going to Cancun and jet pooled, which means fly commercial like regular people, then I would say, well, at least he, I mean, think about it. If John Kerry really believed that in 9 years the Earth would not be able to support human life and the damage could not be undone in 9 years' time, would he be flying around polluting in a private jet like he's doing? I would think not. Now, this thing with Governor Cuomo is getting pretty heated.
They seem to go along in today's paper.
No. He's Cuomo's in trouble, and I know he's in trouble because on the Sunday shows are liberal, and the This Week show they had Jen Psaki on, and in the past when Biden was running, he was praising Cuomo. He called Cuomo the gold standard of how a governor should govern during the COVID crisis. Which obviously Ron DeSantis is the gold standard. But so the liberal interviewer asked Jen Psaki, with everything that's come out from the nursing home scandals and remember, if what they're saying about Governor Cuomo is true, he's responsible for the death of more New Yorkers than Osama bin Laden was on 9/11. If what they're saying about Cuomo is true. And so the liberal reporter on the Sunday show asked Jen Psaki if Biden still considers Cuomo to be the gold standard for governing during COVID. Listen.
So does President Biden still consider Andrew Cuomo the gold standard when it comes to leadership on the pandemic?
Well, John, we work with Governor Cuomo just like we work with governors across the country. He's also chair of the NGA, so he plays an important role in ensuring that we're coordinating closely and getting assistance out to people of his state and to states across the country. And we'll continue to do that. And there, of course, will be a process. The investigations, we'll leave that to others to determine, the appropriate law enforcement authorities to determine how that path is going.
Now listen to what the reporter does. Listen.
Forward, but we are going to continue to work with a range of governors, including, of course, Governor Cuomo, because we think the people of New York, the people of states across the country, need assistance, not just to get through the pandemic, but to get through this difficult economic time. And that's where...
Now listen.
All right, but Jen, my question was, does President Biden still believe that Andrew Cuomo is the gold standard, represents the gold standard on leadership during this pandemic? Just a yes or no. Does he
well, John, the president. Well, it doesn't always have to be a yes or no answer, John. I think the president.
Okay, so the point being, she doesn't answer the question, and for a liberal reporter to ask the question, she dodges it, and then to go back and follow up shows that Cuomo is in trouble. When you've got the liberal mainstream media questioning a Democrat's motives like that, he's in trouble. I would say Cuomo. He's not going to go to jail. But his political career, I think, is pretty much over at this point. Wouldn't you guess? I would think. All right. 1-888-GO-CANE-1 is our number. Good morning. Hello? Once, twice. Uh-oh, let me try it again. You're on the air. Go ahead. Oh, we're losing everybody. Good morning. You're on the air. See, Monday mornings. Yeah. Unfortunately, Steve, with all the other callers, got disconnected except you. The whole board just went dead except you, including Steve. So I don't know, our Monday morning tech thing. But I'll let you say what you got to say about Pence, then I'll get Steve back during the break. Well, the thing with Pence, okay, here's the thing with Pence, okay? The Capitol breach scared the hell out of him. The people were 100 feet away from him and his family, as so goes the story, okay? And they evacuated him out and everything else. So he went through a trauma that day. But after that event, he was implying that President Trump had a role in it. And I never trusted Pence in the beginning. I talked about that a lot. I never trusted Pence, and I didn't trust him because he never really got to feel his personality out too much. So and then when the COVID thing started happening and he headed up the task force, I was like, okay, he seems all right because he was defending Trump, but I didn't trust him. And what I've come to realize is Pence was just like Jeff Sessions. He was planted to spy from within, and a lot of people believe that are in the know. That's right, that Mike Pence was the White House leaker all along throughout the entire Trump presidency, and I tend to believe that now. And my first instinct about him, I think, was right. And the CPAC invitation was perfect, because CPAC had nothing to lose. Either he would turn it down or be booed off the stage. And, so yeah, Jeff Sessions won't be there either. I got to run for our last break. I apologize, but take care. Okay, I'm going to get Steve back during the break. We will take our last break of the day and be back with the Gold Report right after this.
Tell you about my Giza Dream bed sheets.
Steve Kane Show. Hold on.
Not only that, they
Hey, then I keep losing your phone keeps cutting out. All right. Okay. Do you want me to do the gold report since you're on the phone? Okay. Hey, hold on. All right, we are back 48 minutes after the hour. Time to check in with William Youngerman with the Morning Gold Report. William Youngerman, good morning.
Brian, how you doing?
Great. How the metals looking today?
Metals are looking good. The market on Friday closed nicely higher, with gold hitting a low of $1,760 last week, but then closing up $9.30 on Friday at $1,784.60. Good support around that 1760 number. We saw this is the second time it's been down there in the recent weeks. Silver got as low as $26.02 last Friday, and then closed up to $27.26. That was up 27 cents. Another metal that's showing good support around that $27 number. Platinum down $1 last week, closing out the week at $12.66, trading in a range from $12.25 to $1,303. And palladium closed up $32 on Friday at $2,264 the ounce. This morning we see a continuation of the move upward as gold got, or that $1,799 right now. That's up $14.40. Silver's up 14 cents at $27.40 the ounce. Platinum is down $1 at $12.65, and palladium is up $8 at $22.72. So the market looking to try to push through the $1,800 number again. If we can get some solid closes above 18, we will challenge some resistance areas up around $1,857.
Yeah, and don't forget, William Youngerman not only sells the metals, he also purchases them. So if you have something made of the metals, give them a call. Also, if you have some coins, if you have collectibles, old money, things like this, give them a call and talk to them about getting an appraisal on all of that. They're open weekdays, 10 a.m. to 5, and the phone number is 1-800-327-5010, 1-800-327-5010, online, williamyoungerman.com, and the address is 150 East Palmetto Park Road, which is just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road on the first floor of the Bank of America building. All right, William Youngerman, we will talk tomorrow.
Have a great day.
You too. Take care. Take care. All right, Steve, we got you back. I've just been emailing the engineer and everybody about your predicament with not being able to connect from your studio today, so they're going to look into it. All right, you back with us, Steve? Okay. All right. Okay. It was Monday mornings. All right, let's go back to our phones. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Yeah, hey, good morning. It's Juan from Boston.
Hey, Juan.
Hey, good morning. The one thing about, and don't cut me off here, I know that minimum wages. Walmarts and McDonald's need to pay that minimum wage. All right, as far as small businesses are.
No, excuse me. Excuse me. Slow down. Most every McDonald's is a small business, an independent franchisee. Owns it, and it's not the big company. They're franchises, and most people own 1, 2. The big ones own maybe 3 or 4. McDonald's is a small business.
Okay, well then, put them on that category then. What I say to you is that look, when I had my small business, here's what I did. I worked it myself, and if I couldn't afford the afford to hire somebody, then I would. But yeah, I disagree with you, Rush Limbaugh, Mark Levin, as far as small business, because you know what? Working for big corporations, and if you leave it up to the markets, which are very cruel and real, I got my son still working for $7, $8 an hour right now. And you know what? Anybody that works 40 hours a week should be able to make a decent.
Okay, well, you know what? Now listen here. Listen, I'm not some cruel guy, like, I'm Mr. Cruel Conservative, but I have never earned minimum wage in my life. When I started working, well, no, hold on. Let me finish. You wanted me to let you finish. Can I finish? Because I want to say something and have you respond to it. When the first job I had that was on the books, I was 15 or 16, was at Publix. Minimum wage was $3.35 an hour, and it was the summer, and my parents told me to get a job. I applied at two places, Arby's, and I applied at Publix. Arby's paid $3.35 an hour, which was minimum wage. Publix paid $3.65, so I took the $3.65 job. I chose not to earn minimum wage, and I've never earned it. Most people that own minimum wage are high school kids, okay, or college kids. They have no bills, no responsibilities, and they also have no skills, okay, and they take an entry-level, no-skill job at minimum wage. They should be paid whatever the business owner thinks they're worth.
Not true. There's a lot of people out there making minimum wage that have pay.
Do you know how much money? Okay, now think about this. How much money do you think Steve pays me? What do you think Steve based what he pays me on? No, it's not irrelevant. Steve pays me money, right? What is my salary? Hold on. No, it's not irrelevant. What is my salary based on? Not how much I make. What's my salary based on?
You've got a sellable skill.
No, okay, I'm paid. Okay, I'm paid what I'm worth. Do you know how much money I made? Do you know how much money I made when I first started working for Steve? How much an hour? I was paid by the hour then. You know how much an hour I was paid? Take a guess. When I first started working at the station with Steve.
Again, anybody that works 40 hours.
No. Hold on a second here. When I first started, my first job at the radio station Steve was running at the time, WFTL. Take a guess. How much money do you think I was paid an hour?
When did you work?
This was like 92. This was 92. How much do you think I made an hour? Guess. A dollar amount.
$7.
Oh, you're way off. Guess again.
Is it up or down?
Down.
$5 an hour?
Not even. No. Get this. $0 an hour. I was an unpaid. No, hold on. Let me explain it to you. $0 an hour. I made zero. Yeah. It made me a very smart guy. I left. Excuse me. I was an unpaid intern. I left a paying job at another radio station, 102.7 FM, Waxy, paid a couple dollars an hour. Took a job making $0 an hour, right? Because that's what I was worth at a talk radio station. Then I had very few skills.
People, Brian Craig, that out there that don't have skills. You developed your skills. I worked as an intern also, but I made money as an intern, even as an intern.
Oh, I started getting paid real quick, and I get paid now. But this idea.
Paid real quick. Now you're starting to get paid real quick. Come on now.
Yeah, because I learned skills.
Government. Sometimes the government has to interfere because the markets, like I said before, are cruel. All right.
Well, that's life. That's life.
Well, exactly. That's why you have to have the government to somewhat balance these.
Not at all. Not at all. Listen, you raise the federal minimum wage to $15 an hour, what's going to happen is these left-wing states are going to say that's not enough. And it's going to be $18 and $19 an hour in California and New York, if it's not already, in Washington State. And what you're going to do is stop young people from being able to get jobs. There'll be no more jobs for high schoolers because no high school is worth that.
Well, the bottom line is that I'm talking about the people that are uneducated, that aren't capable. Again, I'm being redundant now. This is being repetitive. You got to protect the people.
No, you're not. You just lost the argument, and you don't want to admit it.
No, I didn't. No, you lost the argument.
Oh.
Like I told you, I mean, if you work for nothing in this country, you got to.
How did that work out for me? Hey, how did that work out for me? Taking that job for $0 an hour.
out.
Well, look where I am today. Look where I am today. Did it work out for me? It worked out for. Oh, look who we have on the line, Steve. Richard Pearl, whose show follows the Steve Kane Show every day. You know, I'll tell you, that was the best decision I ever made. I left a paying job to work for you for nothing. Started paying me real quick. It worked out. I think it worked out for me. Listen, that's right. That's right. It's called an education. All right, hey, listen, Richard Pearl, what's on deck today on your show?
We got so much we're going to talk about. The fact that the media is treating Joe Biden completely differently, how he's done a disastrous job with Texas. Yes, many people don't remember, but the same media attacked Donald Trump for his handling of Hurricane Maria, which he actually did something. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about all the policies that Biden has done that's harmed Americans, how inflation is creeping in, how cost of, for instance, oil has gotten through the roof, and it's just beginning, and how there seems to be an absence of critical questioning on the new administration. Even Saturday Night Live hasn't done a single skit on the new administration. Not one. Not on Joe Biden, not on Kamala.
Wow.
Everybody, I've been getting a lot of calls from people from New York. I mean, tremendous amount of calls. Vitamin C that's fat soluble.
Mm-hmm. Well, listen. Time is short. Now, you're getting a lot of calls from New York, and that's because Richard Pearl and Simply Natural will ship to you. So if you're an out-of-town listener, give them a call. Now, Simply Natural is located in Sunrise, just north of Sunset Strip on the east side of University. The number is 954-741-4045. 954-741-4045. Open 7 days a week, 11 a.m. till 9 p.m. And, of course, Richard Pearl's radio show immediately following the Steve Kane Show, weekdays at 9 a.m. on this radio station, so don't touch that dial. All right, Richard, have a great show. We'll be tuned in. Thank you. All right, Steve, you have about 15 seconds to say goodbye.
Goodbye. That's about what I'm here.
15.
On behalf of my son Tyler, working his way through the organization, Brian, who has already worked his way through, and of course I'm yours truly, Steve Kane, God bless America.
We've got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
All right, guys. I was just turning off the voicemail. I forgot you guys were watching me for a second. It's a good thing I didn't start a private conversation, right? Listen, if you're new here, make sure you subscribe. Click that notification bell, guys, if you don't mind. And give me a thumbs up. That helps a lot, too, a thumbs up. Now, I did a very good video yesterday that you guys should check out. It's the one right before this one about Ted Cruz and Ted Kennedy. And it's a really good video I put up late yesterday. Go check that out for me if you don't mind. All right, I'll see you guys later. Take care. Thanks for watching.